What you are witnessing is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in our forum.
Order in the court. It's real!
Court is now in session.
Yo, FB, the man of the hour, the man with the plan from here to Japan, bringing sophistication to some dark situations while simultaneously shining your light and breaking things down proper style, straight up and down like 6 o'clock, as the guard would say. Yo, Frankie, I see you out here doing your 1-2, son, and I want to commend you. You know what I'm saying? But I also want to say that, Nick is a jokester. I play around a lot. I do comedy. Sometimes I don't take every situation so serious. And, I was drinking the last time that we had popped off. And, we be having our debates back and forth on the phone and doing woo-woo-woo. And I just got ahead of myself. And I think, I didn't really represent myself in a articulate, like in an intellectual fashion. So I said,
son, that's in the past. We in the future. This is where we going, you know what I mean? We got big things to do, man, big things to talk about. Let's get to it like we doing it.
Yeah, son. So I just wanted to come through and say, yo, come on, Frankie. Let's show my Uncle Nick is down for the crown. Frankie Boo come through and do his 1-2. And I got a few topics, that I want to run by your desk. But before that, how you feeling, my brother? What's poppin'?
Yo, first and foremost, man, like always, man, you know what I'm saying? I give, my most high, man, all the praise and all the glory, man. You heard? Secondly, man, I want to give a shout out to the brothers and the sisters that I left behind in those walls of struggles. Just because I'm here, I still remember and understand the plight and the fights that y'all are going through. So, I'm saying? I'm here trying to do something for y'all and also do something for the posterity, man. And, the young brothers and sisters that's finding, it's hard to navigate in these streets because they either listening to bozos or trying to imitate or emulate bozos. With that being said, man, I'm feeling great, man. You know what I mean? I'm here. I'm blessed. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to, keep moving steady forward, man. Forward progress.
Yo, that's respectable, commendable, and that sounds like the man with the plan. You know what I mean? As I said earlier. Now, it's great to be in good spirits for the holidays, to see you back home, with your family. You've been putting out really great content. Shout out to Chip, Big Boo, Dark Man, the whole team over there.
Whole facts, man. 050 the movement. You dig? You know what I'm saying? My nigga Harlem Legend. You heard? My nigga China Brim.
They've been holding you down.
Yeah, Factamundo, man. You know what I'm saying? All the other, brothers that's, complimenting me, man, in all the right ways. You heard? Yeah, man. So yeah, that's where that's at, man. You heard?
From watching those episodes and digging into certain things and just seeing how you've been, getting down for the come up and just speaking your speech. You know what I'm saying? Talk with your chest on. I've been in kind of like just a fallback state where I'm just watching Frankie Boo kind of like be the maestro of the orchestra, you know what I'm saying? And you're setting things off. And like I said, I'm impressed and I'm also humbled by how an individual can spend so much time behind the wall and not in society and come out and make this shit kind of look like you never left, the way you speak, the way you think, the way you talk, and how you're conducting yourself. So, like I said, I just want to big you up and give you your flowers for how you've been getting down and, just walking the walk and talking the talk. But there's a few topics, like I said, that came across my desk. And
well, first, before you even go on with that, man, let me address that because you dig what I'm saying? Like, you got to be a good soldier in order to become a great leader. You know what I mean? And as I've said previously, man, throughout life, man, I've had the privilege of dealing with a lot of good men, man. A lot of good men, a lot of good women, man, who, even though back in those days, I probably didn't listen to them. However, I compartmentalized things that were being said to me and at the proper time and its due time, I began to utilize them or I began to see that, I began to see the picture clearer. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, so for all those that have been instrumental in my life, man, outside of prison, inside of prison, man, I send my respects and my salutes to you, man. Those that I'm learning from now, being outside of those walls, I'm also giving thanks to you because you're taking out your time, your consideration to, assist me and to compliment me into being the best version of myself.
Joe, as you would say, boomerang, son. Pactamundo. You know what I mean? And also too, you're fair, man. You literally fan with the whole squad, and from our introduction, you've been nothing but complimentary as to what I got going on as well. Just with your, you know what I'm saying, the way we're able to talk about geopolitics, or we'll talk about like some street shit, or we'll talk about some personal stuff about our own lives. We have some similarities that we'll get into, as far as dealing with family members and different situations and how things kind of come about. So just through this whole little process of growing with you, I said, man, Frankie Blue's on point. I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I mean? And shout out to all the people that have been there for you along the way, that have believed in you and your journey, and have given you the power and the insight to get to where you're at right now. Because I think Malcolm X says something to the effect of, not verbatim, everybody wakes up at a different time in life. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
you could have been hit with all that fly shit, all that information. Yo, it's this much miles for the planet. There's this much, you know what I'm saying? et cetera, popping off. And, you got all this information, but sometimes, that ain't really what you're studying. So it just depends on where your head's at. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. You know what I mean? And, it's been a, it's a process. It's been a process, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, I think it was Huey P said, man, a man needs a certain amount of sufferation in his life, man, in order to understand truly who he is. You know what I mean? It either does one or two things. It either builds character or it breaks the character of a man. You know what I mean? I'm just thankful that I was fortified by the Most High in order to, walk through the walks that I've walked in life, and come out, with minute scars in a lot of different ways. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what it is, man.
Without struggle, there's no process, baby. You understand?
Facts, big facts. Yeah.
Now,
whoa. Big salutes, man. Happy Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. You know what I mean? Whatever you celebrate, you know what I mean? I'm sending a big salute, man, for my viewers, for the people who take the time to, to subscribe, to view me, to like the content in which I'm giving up. You know what I mean? I send y'all blessings, man. I send the prayers up to the Most High that you and your families, man, and your loved ones, man, will enjoy this holiday, man, and that, everything that you want in life, you shall reap, you shall get. You know what I'm saying? It should be your reward from the Most High, man. So I'll continue to send the old head upstairs those prayers and hope that he'll send them blessings down, especially to my brothers and sisters that still live behind them, modern day slave plantations. Let's get it, boy.
All right. Now, I came across Walter King Tut Johnson's page. I've been checking in here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I saw that Homeboy was up there on MSNBC, which was pretty impressive. He didn't get out too long ago, and he's making these power moves. You know what I'm saying? And
salute.
Yeah, I heard him speaking about a nonprofit that he created, and there's this judge up there that gave him the 5 life sentences that had a change of heart. And I thought it would be something important for you to touch on from your perspective, and I thought that you could actually give a very thorough breakdown. So I actually want to run the clip so the audience can engage as well. They know exactly what we're talking about if they haven't seen these things. And I'm going to run a couple clips by you. And then, you just do your 1-2 and give us what you think, Frank. How you feel about that, son?
I mean, I'm going to give you what I can give you, to the best of my ability. That's what this is, vertical talk, straight up, no chaser, you heard?
Yo, son, you got that je ne sais quoi. You got that schlingo, G. For real. You ain't missing a beat. All right, let's get into it.
At 90 years old, Judge Frederick Block is re-examining some of the prison sentences he has handed down after 30 years on the federal bench. Sentences he is now deeming as too harsh. One of those prison terms was given to Walter King Tut Johnson in 1997, after Johnson had been convicted on drug, robbery, and witness tampering charges. But as of 2 months ago, thanks to the 2018 First Step Act, Block was able to amend Johnson's sentence, releasing him from prison after 27 years.
I sentenced him to 5 lifetime terms of imprisonment. He was supposed to die in jail 28 years ago. Because of changes in the law, because of his rehabilitation, because of the powers that district court judges now have, I was able to free him.
Yo.
Oh, yeah. Facts, yo. Yo, big salutes, man. Big salutes to the G. You heard, stood tall. You know what I mean? And get this, man. You know, I'm not looking at it as a badge of honor. You know what I'm saying? It's by Allah's will that, you know what I'm saying, he made it through the struggles that he made it through in the streets and inside of prison. You know what I mean? But wow. You know what I mean? I never knew the boy had 5 life sentences. That's big. You know what I'm saying? In a twisted way, that's big. You know what I mean? So for a judge now to, you know what I'm saying, 2 decades, close to 3 decades later, you know what I'm saying, have a change of heart and rectify a situation that he deemed probably illegitimate back then. However, due to the draconian laws that were in place back then, you know, with the judicial system taking the powers away from judges and giving them to U.S. attorneys and states attorneys through the mandatory minimum aspect of things, you know, a lot of individuals, a lot of good brothers and sisters are now languishing in prison, you know, and those laws that were enacted, coupled with, you know what I'm saying, the mindsets of individuals who thought we were lost causes anyway. A lot of them, you dig what I'm saying? However, there were a lot of judges, to be fair, who at the time their hands was tied because these mandatory minimums that was set by individuals, you know, that was in office, that was on Senate committees, that was in, you know, that were councilmen, that were congressmen and women, deemed it necessary to, you know, push these agendas, you know what I'm saying? Namely, you know, even including President Biden and Kamala Harris, who a lot of people, you know, a lot of black people, I should say, because I'm gonna stick, I feel that they were some kind of akin to us, you know what I'm saying? Like they was definitely from our ilk, when, you know, it was because of them in a lot of instances that, you know, the incarceration rate soared to the degree that it did on their watch, as her watch as a U.S. attorney back then in California. And, you know, Joe Biden was either, I think, of a Senate or Congress, or he was a person of stature. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, these same laws, man, that were created, you know, to take the power from judges who would have the discretion to actually see a person for who they were when they walked in that courtroom, was now just given to a U.S. attorney or a state's attorney under the mandatory minimum. So now a judge is forced, regardless of what, you dig what I'm saying? If you fell under a certain bracket, he had to give you that time under that bracket, regardless of how harsh it was, regardless of how illegitimate he may have thought he had to do it, because that's what the law stipulated at that time. You know what I mean?
He'll give you 3 life sentences and then go play golf afterwards.
Without a question. And you know, again, let's not, you know, I'm not gonna be, you know, just, you know, unfair. You know, they may have went and played golf, but they may have went, some of them may have went and played golf grudgingly, knowing that, you know what I'm saying, they just gave a person who really didn't deserve that kind of sentence, you know, but there was nothing they can do about it. You know, so, you know, you know, regardless of what, it doesn't justify the fact that the justice system was broke back then. It had no consideration for individuals who were coming up in all sorts of twisted positions in these urban cities and in these cities across the United States that, you know, at the end of the day, in a lot of instances, they created. You dig? They created the powers that be.
I'm getting an interesting parallel as I'm sitting here listening to you, because, you know, I'm Italian and black. You know what I'm saying? I'm a mulatto. You can't say that no more, they say, but I don't give a F. You know what I'm saying? Try not to curse too much at that. That's what it is. But the mafia. You know, I listened to a lot of these guys that got out from the feds. They did a lot of time, you know, woo. They got podcasts and different things now. And there's something eerily similar to what you just said, that when the commission makes that call, or when this family says this is like this or this is like that, no matter how unfair this shit is, no matter if there's other people that think, man, this 22 times, man, they're gonna do them well. I mean, filthy. This is wrong, but somehow you're a part of this system. You're a part of this machine, and you signed up for it. And there'll be times where, hey, you got to do something that you might not want to do, but if you don't do it, then you're going to be food next. You know what I'm saying? So
there you go.
There's an interesting parallel as to the ruthlessness and the criminality of the mafia or just organizations, and also within the people representing the courtroom. That's kind of what I gathered from what you just put together in my own way, but not what you were saying. But I drew that parallel.
You know what's crazy, Nick, is that everybody, you know what I'm saying, in life, man, you know, a lot of us, man, you know what I'm saying, especially when we gain some kind of power or stature, we believe that we're the start all or end all. And this is no different from a judge or a congressman or a senator or whatever the case may be. You're still a pawn to somebody else that's higher than you. So in that case, in that sense, you may have all the compassion or empathy and you know that what you're doing is wrong. However, you don't want to be the outcast. You don't want to be alienated. So guess what? Though you know it's wrong, you still don't stand on it. You don't stand on the fact of, yo, that's dead ass wrong, and I'm not going to give them that, because you don't want your buddies at the golf club or at the racket club or these upper echelons bars and so forth. So
Or the
you don't
yacht
want them,
club your wife goes to, and the tennis.
you don't want to be looked at or frowned upon by the other blue bloods, the other wealthy, the other judges, the other.
And she don't want to be looked down, and your kids don't want to be looked down, and your parents who were down with the program that probably got you in place. It's all, you know, it's all set up that way.
Yeah, but then you know the unfair aspect of it is that, you dig what I'm saying? Not even do they, you know, face the reality of saying, well, what about these, you know, what about these individuals that's in these urban cities, that's in these poverty-stricken areas, that's in these downtrodden ass places that feel that, damn, you dig what I'm saying? They don't want to be alienated. So certain things that they do, it's not that they really want to do it, but they're kind of forced by the environment or by the people or the places or the things of that environment. They you know, for some reason they don't take that into consideration, when even they themselves have been utilized as pawns by others above them who are, you know, enacting these laws and saying, yo, listen, you ain't got no power. I'm telling you what to do. This is what you give them when they come through these courtrooms, regardless of what you think, you do this. And guess what? At that moment, or for that tenure, whether it's 2 years or 10 years, you're somebody else's bitch. You're somebody else's gopher to do something that they're sitting up in an office somewhere else. They ain't got to see the person or the person's family that, you know, are crying now because they're like, yo, he only got caught with a half an ounce of coke, or he only got caught with, you know what I'm saying, a pound of reefer. You dig what I'm saying? But because he has a felony or has 2 felonies, or she has a felony or 2 felonies, you're going to give them, or he got caught.
You're not going to get probation. You're going to get sent up.
Yeah, well, you know, yeah, us as black and brown, you dig? That's not the case. You know, that's not the case for a lot of, you know, those individuals that lack the melanin.
Well, can I ask you this? Even though that these people have these positions of power, they're wealthy, they have the money, they can, you know, move as they like in society and not be looked down upon, there's a thing where self-preservation always kicks in. So even though you're this powerful person, you still have this thing lingering behind you where at the end of the day, this shit could go up in smoke, and I got to do what I got to do to save myself and save my family. And if that means sending your ass to jail for 30 years, hey, I'll say a prayer for you at dinner.
Absolutely, man. You know, at the end of the day, man, an old timer told me years ago, man, this is the Serengeti, man. You know what I mean? This is a predator and prey type of, you know, life we live, man. Regardless of, you know, how many people don't want to accept that fact.
Yeah, like we live in a harmonious utopia, and
this is not a utopia, man, in no sense of the word. And you know, it's just what it is, man. You dig? So yeah, bro. you know. But again, man,
So
shout out
Frankie, let
to
me
the
ask you this real quick. So now you're talking about Biden, you're talking about Kamala, you got a little political. How do you feel about Donald Trump being the actual president that signed in the first act step, and Donald Trump not bragging, but being responsible for that bill actually being signed on, pushed through, and being embraced as the other GOP individuals and, you know, Congress and other people had been sitting on this and trying to push it through, but always were kind of like, I don't know. You know, we still got to push that 80s tough on crime shit. And Trump came in and said, okay, you know what? I think this is something that we need to start doing. So Trump actually signed that bill in 2018 that allowed that judge to give Walter King Tut Johnson the opportunity to touch the streets again after 27 years. How do you feel about Donald Trump doing that?
I mean, I appreciate the fact that Donald Trump took the initiative. You know, I also have to say that, you know, I know that it wasn't him alone that, you know, was able to do that by himself. There
Oh
was
no,
a lot of
not at all. But he
What I'm saying
signed
is
off
this. What
on
I'm
the end
saying is
and got
this.
it pushed through.
Right. And even that, you dig, was it just him that got it pushed through? See, you know, a lot of times, man, we fail to give credit, or we don't know all the particulars or all the individuals, you know,
Well,
who are.
no. Maybe let me specify then. You were talking about a presidential elect and a president. This guy is the president and was the president. So I'm just keeping it on a presidential level, not really
I mean,
getting
yo,
into. We
anybody
could
that
get
was
into
in the
that after the
walls,
fact. Yeah.
any real brother that I ran into, bro, like Road to Mother, we had a grudge and admiration for Trump, and I'm gonna tell you why. Trump may be a lot of things, but one thing that I see with Trump is just, in a lot of instances from what I've seen, Trump say what he mean and mean what he say. It was things that I seen him do when, you know, lobbyists was trying to, you know, tell him what to do or ask him what he should do. And Trump like, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit. So, you know, it's a difference from a person that can tell you straight up and down that, yo, this is what I'm going to do or this is what I'm not going to do, and stand on it either way. You dig what I'm saying? Now, does it mean that he's not deceitful in ways or that he doesn't have messed up ways? Without a question, we all do. You dig? But for those of us that was languishing in prison, you know, not only did he give, you know, a lot of us hope that we had the opportunity or the chance to get out of prison, he actually released people. You dig? He actually released people. He actually was the one that signed in on a bill that, you know, other presidents before him had actually been a part of the actual draconian laws or harsh sentences that a lot of us black and brown people received.
The
So
president right before him that was there for 8 years had that
without a question,
come across his desk.
and in each term, he lied, saying that he was going to deal with certain groups, whether it was families against mandatory minimums or other groups that were attempting to fight for loved ones that were in prison for long amounts of time. And, you know, days just went by, days just went by, days just went by. You know, so, you know, yeah, I definitely, you know, I salute Trump in that aspect of being the one who
Frankie,
actually
if
got
you
that
really,
bill signed.
oh, sorry, you know, sometimes I be diarrhea of the mouth, as they say. Isn't it kind of mind blowing that a billionaire would give a fuck or give a f about dudes sitting in the prison, and then he turns around and gets charged with 34 felonies, has to take a mugshot, first mugshot in life, has to get arrested and do all this stuff, not knowing in hindsight that the people he was defending or trying to give a second chance, these same people that didn't want to give them a chance would come after him and try to make him those people he was trying to let out and put him in that same situation. Isn't that some ill shit?
I mean, yo, bro, you know, it's not too much in life that surprises me, man. You know what I mean? Like real talk, you know. What I do know to some degree about, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Trump, is the fact that, yo, he's dealt with other gangsters at certain parts of his life, man. You know what I mean?
Factual.
And he's come up in the rotten apple. You dig? And in order to be a real businessman, man, when you dealing with multi-million-dollar corporations and billion-dollar corporations, man, you better have some kahunas. You better have some balls and some courage and some, you know what I mean, firmness about yourself. So I believe, I believe the same streets of New York that, you know what I'm saying, bred, you know what I'm saying, individuals like myself and, you know what I'm saying, it's Tuts and so many other, you know what I'm saying, good men, man, from out of, what, regardless of what borough, you know what I'm saying. Trump also has had his piece of that pot and maybe a different aspect, but nonetheless in a way that help groom him to be a person that understands things on a different level than some of the individuals who just come out of these rural areas or for these farms and so forth and so on, and always had a good life. You dig what I'm saying? And never really had to deal with,
Well,
real
mix it up with
hardships.
the other individuals. I was watching the thing one day with Sammy the Bull. The mob was all in construction and getting lots of money from, the unions and this and that and all kinds of stuff. And, they say, hey, man, did you ever, was Trump ever involved in any of that stuff? Was woo woo. And he said, man, I got to tell you, man, Donald Trump is a tough motherfucker, man. You can't get close to him. He got the feds all around him. And it reminded me of the 50 Cent when Whack 100 was like, yeah, we thought we was going to roll up on 50 here, like Navy SEALs. Trump never played that out the gate. And he said, you go say something to Trump, you'll be doing 20 under the, you know what I mean? He got the right team around him. And he said, nah, we can never get close to him. We can never penetrate. And we stayed away from him because we knew he was, he was a problem for us if we try to make a problem for him, man. I was like,
Yo,
you
we
got
seen that.
gangster, man, and in his own way.
We seen that when the same people, you know what I mean, when the government tried to come at him for taxes, and he blatantly told them, like, y'all ain't getting nothing. I ain't giving y'all shit. And number two, how y'all gonna come at me for doing the same thing, for finding the loopholes that all you are utilizing and doing? Y'all just mad that I found it and I'm able to apply it the same way that you're applying. You're applying it or have been applying it. So yeah, bro. Like one thing for certain, bro. I read in a book, man. The sheepdog will get tired of chasing the wolf, but the wolf will never get tired of chasing the sheepdog.
Facts.
The sheep.
I like that, Frankie. I like that.
So what I mean, as it goes back to that aspect of the Serengeti, bro. You dig? If you as an individual, and this is what I mean about trying to tell the youth, some individuals, some youth may they may look at going to prison at this point as a badge of honor, as I once did. And as brothers like me who have been languishing in those walls and now have been recently released by the grace of Allah. The other side of that coin is some of us make it out of there. Some of us don't. So what a lot of individuals may take as, oh, I think I could do this. You never know what may be the case when you enter those walls, if you ever enter those walls. So if I had to share once again with my little brothers and sisters, it's like, yo, listen, man, don't roll dice with your life.
Yo, especially, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, especially if you're not prepared 110% to do anything and everything necessary to come out of there, standing tall, the same way that you acted like you were standing tall while you was in the street throwing rocks at that penitentiary. And even in that aspect, because a lot of things that's happening nowadays that didn't happen back in the days, is that you had real men standing with real men. Even if they weren't friends, they wouldn't allow the BS that came with people trying to dishonor them, slander them just because they was envious or ego. So it's a lot more bullshit that exists. So for the individuals that think that, getting a rep in these streets for another motherfucker that ain't got no rep that probably you're seeking to get, or may have a rep but is nowhere in comparison to doing the things that you're willing to do, maybe that same motherfucker that's putting a bone on you once you grow too big for your britches. or once you start to outshine them, or once you do things, whether it's getting money, whether it's dealing with a female, whether it's just
You just
naturally
might have
moving.
more intellect. I done seen niggas get mad because a motherfucker just knows more than them and they say stupid shit and the person corrects him and it just happens too much. It's not his fault that you're dumb or you like to brag about shit you don't know, but you're
Absolutely.
right. It's mad things where it sets shit off. Yeah,
Yeah, bro. And now you know you living in years of slander now, where a lot of dudes are these computer gangsters and all this and all that, and you know what I mean. And don't get it twisted again, man. It's not about boasting, but you want to believe that, yo, you know what? Like at some point you did whatever you did, man. You did in life at a young age. You held it down honorably or whatever the case may be, to only, you know, have individuals who have nothing even in comparison with you say or do something that's totally
out of
against
pocket.
whatever. Yeah, you dig, and you know, and that's just what society is going for. So it's like, tell me really, man, my young brothers and sisters, like, is it really worth you, you know what I'm saying, doing everything in your power to be, you know, everything that you think you should be, that's politically incorrect, in order to please somebody who really doesn't have or understand your true value or your worth, and just to at the end be, you know, taken down by words that have no merit, whether it's them calling you a, you know, a rat, a homo, whatever, man, whatever it is, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's this era. So, you know, if I had to tell you, man, I'd say, yo, man, listen, man, go to school, man. You dig, do whatever you got to do, get the
Be a
job.
nerd.
Yeah, be the nerd, be the square. You heard? Because guess what? It's a lot less hardships doing that. Yeah, you may have to, you know, it's hardships with everything. You know, the nerds say, well, I get bullied and this, that, and the third. Well, guess what, man? You would rather be bullied in the streets, being able to evade. You can move away or move to another state with family. When you're in those walls in prison, you can't move but so far, man. You dig?
Yo,
Especially
Frankie, I
if you're in
remember
one building.
the first time I got really locked up with the adults, man. I didn't know what the fuck was. I remember they started wilding over toilet paper, and that's when I realized, Nick, you are in over your head right now, and you're gonna have to handle this. But you do not know what you walked into. Like I'm thinking like. I'm not even thinking of like all these little intricacies, just the simplest, smallest things you don't think of. A fucking quarter chicken leg can get you rocked. You know what I'm saying? Or you
listen,
not
man.
moving the right
Shit.
way next to someone who's eating, or you sneezing the wrong
Yeah,
way, or just
yeah,
all these
yeah,
fucking things, you know what I'm saying, could get you touched. So I was
yeah.
like, I was definitely thought I was like street ready and I'm running around outside, but jail was a different place than the street with different rules and similar outcomes, but just more severe and much quicker.
Yo, man. Listen, man. I done seen some of the worst things, man. You know what I'm saying? Outside and in prison. You know, and on this one right here, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it was one incident, you know what I'm saying, real quick, like, you know what I mean? Like, we on our way to the mess hall, you know what I'm saying? And a good dude, man, you know what I'm saying? A good dude, man. You know, something had happened in another prison, not even another prison, in the county jail.
Okay.
Word. In the county jail. And what's crazy, was ironic, because right after this happened, and you know what I mean, I'm kind of digressing a little bit, but after this happened, I wound up leaving maybe like 2 days later. And the boy Whitey Bulger came in, and while I'm in a prison waiting through transit, he gets killed. You know what I'm saying? Probably 2 days after this. But what happened is, like, I'm waiting on my transfer and whatever the case may be from out of the pen. I had just made it to get into an FCI, whatever the case may be. And we go into the mess hall, and all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, the alarm goes, bam. And we right at the gate, you know what I'm saying? And we at the gate. I'm in Hazel Pen at the time, and the gates close. And I see my son. He slides out and he blows. You dig? Now, I don't know what happened at the point, but you know what I mean? Maybe about 3 minutes later, the dude to get hit comes out. You know what I mean? And he takes a knee. You know what I mean? Right there. So like, damn, you already know, you know what I mean? Basically, like, damn, son must have got you know? And they bring in a stretcher, whatever the case may be, and they put the boy on a stretcher. And I'm looking at my boy and I'm like, yo, boy, you see this? Like, yeah, I said, yo, boy, it's a beautiful thing to be getting the fuck away from me. He like, yo, big homie, man, get away and stay the fuck away, homie. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got a shot. You dig what I'm saying? And at the time, shit was still dismal to me, you know what I mean? But right then and there, man, I just watched the boy leg just go to the, you know what I'm saying, go to the left. And I looked at my man, I said, yo, boy, it just died, bro. He said, what? He said, how you know? I said, yo, bro, listen, man, bro just died. You dig? As I said that, man, they start taking off. Pew! They pushing him. Man, police. No, the nurse chick done jumped up on the stretcher, you know what I'm saying, trying to pump the boy, pump life back in him. You know what I mean? Now, the moral kind of to this story is that, you know, even though we standing behind that gate, it took a long amount of time for them people to even, you know, get that man on that stretcher and then take him to the medical. You dig? And to know that his wounds was that of a, you know, knife wound to the chest or the neck, whatever case may be. Like, it should have been immediately response, like, yo, get that ambulance. That's not the case. So yeah, again, man, you know, a lot of you brothers that's man throwing these walls, throwing these rocks at these prisons. Number one, you don't know where you're gonna end up at. And them level 7 penitentiaries, man, and them state facilities like Clinton and Elmira, or, you know, Hagerstown or Jessup Cuts and so forth and so on, homie. This just is gladiator schools for real, my dude. And a lot of times when we get in them spots, man, you know, some of us dudes don't be knowing nobody. You know what I mean? And what you gonna do then? You know? But yeah, bro, you know, it's just, you know, it's just crazy that, you know what I mean?
Well, on that note, why don't we slide in and see what Tut has to say and kind of tie all this together? What you think about that, Frankie?
Man, do what you do, kid. I'm here for you.
Let's get to it.
And now that I'm home, I get the opportunity to speak to the youth. I speak to other guys that I know who have made mistakes. I have a wife who speaks to the girls. I've developed a non-profit organization, Champions for Change, and we just want people to know that if you're a human being, you can change. You can better yourself. You know, I want guys and girls who have made mistakes to understand the fact that they are not the mistakes that they've made, and all they have to do is participate in the process of life to become better individuals. And it all comes from choices. You know, you choose better people, you choose better places, and you choose better things.
Facts. I said once upon a time, man, you know what I'm saying, on another platform, that, you know what I'm saying, I was tired of being tired, homie. You know what I mean? I say it again, man. I had seen everything. I did so many things in life that, you know what I'm saying, the only thing that I really didn't see, man, by the grace of Allah, was I seen his works. I seen his power in saving me and protecting me and guiding me and blessing me, but I hadn't seen him. I haven't crossed, I haven't been, you know, laid to rest yet. And I haven't seen the devil. I've done the devil's deeds. You dig? So, you know, when hearing the brother say what he said, man, I'm totally in agreement with it. You know what I mean? Like, we can change. And we don't have to change in prison. You dig? Like, hold on, Nick, 1 second, beloved. I think that right now, the message that the bro is trying to give, and I know I'm definitely trying to give, is that if we can be a beacon of hope for the brothers and sisters who find it so easily convenient to roll dice with their life to begin the transformation now, or the alterations, by just having courage. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like you say, be real. You real, then if you really real, like, you know what I'm saying, taking it from, you know what I'm saying, just and we just two. And you know what I'm saying, we just two of many individuals, man. You got a lot of, you got the Akbar Praise, you got the Veronza Bowers, you got so many other brothers, man. Right now, you got my brother, man, dude. You got the bro Shockwell. You got a lot of brothers that done came home. You dig what I'm saying? From long stretches, man, and are doing good things right now. But our transition and transformation happened in prison, and it happened at a great cost. Don't get it twisted. It happened at a great cost. Hardships, mentally, emotionally, physically, psychologically. And I'm sure that each one of us, man, have stories that would, you know, give the average individual who may think it's a joke, you know, give them reserves on even wanting to go to sleep at night.
Yeah, I ain't going front. Your cousin Frankie Boo. Yo, Big Boo, man, he told me a story one day, man. I was like, God damn, that shit was some spooky fucking made my hair stand up. You know, one of them jail stories. I was like, God damn, son. It's
Yo,
definitely real.
Hey, yo, bro, listen. I want those that's listening right now, man. If you listening to this, man, please, man, subscribe, number one. Number two, man, if what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, or the brother is saying, man, you know what I'm saying, like it, man. You know, give us that support, you know. But I want, you know, and I want this to be understood by my black and brown community and viewers. You understand? More than anything, because we are suffering more than others. Now, I'm not biased, I'm not racist. Nah, this is statistical and proven facts that black males receive 13.4% longer sentences than Hispanic males receive at a rate of 11.2% than white. You know what I mean? So, you know, and that's not even speaking about the Hispanic females or the black females who are getting that 27.8%. So what I'm trying to give to, you know what I'm saying?
So what I would ask you is, because there's a lot of other stats and other things that I want to like throw up on the screen. Speaking about stats, you know, one of the things that I will always hear people object and say at times, they say, okay, well, you know, young black males, the black population in America is maybe less than 15%. How is 5% of the population of that population responsible for upwards of 50% of the homicides in America and upwards of 50% of violent crimes in general? And they say that's why young black males are receiving these harsh sentences, because they're responsible for these acts, opposed to other groups that may be into drug smuggling or sex trafficking, or they raped someone, or these other different crimes. What would you say to a person trying to articulate that, or that was their talking point to you in rebuttal to what you just said?
Hey, yo, man. When you understand this, the circumstances that a person is given, you better can understand the reasoning that a person have in doing some of the things that they may have to do.
Mm.
And like I said, have to do. Let's not get this twisted. Let's not get it misconstrued. Let's not misinterpret it. That we as black and brown people have been fighting for countless amount of years just to be dealt with equally in a country that we built on our backs of blood, sweat, and tears. And even at this very moment, in a country that we belong to, those of us that are African American, black Americans that was born, bred, nurtured, cultivated, and cultured in the United States of America, still get less than immigrants that are coming over here in this very day and time.
Illegally.
So you tell me, what other opportunities or what other avenues, when every avenue that could have possibly been exhausted or attempted to be used or exploited has been closed, the door has been closed in our face?
Well, it's interesting that you bring up the immigration within this particular scenario, because there are articles that I've read from different professors, different political analysts. Kamala Harris's father even wrote an article on the particular topic, where illegal immigration and the flood of immigration will ultimately affect the livelihood and productivity of the young black man. And if you go back and look at immigration and when it really picked up and what was going on prior to that. I'm not talking about Ellis Island or any of that. I'm talking about after, the 50s and certain things with things going on. Black unemployment for teenagers was super low, like black home ownership, the nuclear black family, just businesses, things weren't socially acceptable like that. That wouldn't be a way that people would want to live now. But the productivity aspect of things, like people were able to get jobs, do things. I mean, it's very layered, but the crux of it was kind of going back to what you just brought up about the immigrants and them getting the help, but them also coming here and depleting jobs and certain markets because people are going to hire them because they work for dirt cheap or whatever the case may be. And in return, that affects the black community because you're taking this money out of the black community, you're sending it back to your community. This money will never come back to this community, and we're not making money in the community, which leads people to the streets. And we know what happens when there's a ration going on where resources are limited and you have a lot of people on top of each other. There's gonna be fucking drama. You know what I mean?
Don't we see that with these gangs, or this gang culture life that's coming from all these different countries right now? You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? We're hearing things in Manhattan, we're hearing things in
Yeah,
Chicago.
son, one of these dudes lit a woman on fire on the train, literally burned to death.
And
Insane.
Hey yo, man, when it comes to the socioeconomic aspect of things, man, you have to see things for what it is. And me, I can't cut no corner. This is vertical chalk. This shit is designed. It's been designed to be this way. No different from, the federal penitentiary wasn't created on onstart for black and brown. It was designed for the mafia and the militias and so forth and so on. However,
the
those
RICO Act
individuals
was made for the other half of my people, the Italians, the Sicilians. I'm Sicilian.
So, but what happened is that those people, they got smarter. They got they coattail got hip. They got pulled to it or whatever the case may be. So now they went underground. They found other means. Like they say, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. So now they became smarter at what they do. So now you got a bunch of federal institutions that has a lot of room and board. So what do they say? Okay, let's go get the black and browns. So now you got crackheads getting 10 years and 15 years for being smokers. You getting individuals that's getting caught with a firearm that in some states you can walk around with a concealed carry. You dig? Even after having
a felony.
A felony. You dig? But in certain states, they targeting these states and they're redlining these states and saying, yo, we need to fill up these places that we done built with, these individuals.
And what's interesting? These are the Democratic strongholds with the most severe gun laws.
I say that then. Say
that they're here for the people. Trump is this. The Republicans are bad. Come to my city and try to defend yourself. And there is no stand your ground, Frankie. There is no concealed to carry. There's nothing. And we're gonna defund the police. So you just better shut the fuck up and stay home, or that's it, or just deal with what comes your way and not retaliate. It's insanity.
You did. And that's where we live in. So that's what bothers me about these a lot of individuals who claim to be,
they down for us.
Listen, man, one thing my mom and my grandma used to always tell me, man, one thing that the devil tried to prove to the world is that he didn't exist.
Yeah.
He did. And every day I see some type of form of that. So when talking like, yo, my dude, I pride myself on being one of the realest. It's not to say that I don't have certain flaws and I can't divvy some. Yeah, homie, I'm human. But I know that from day one of my birth, man, maybe that's a little bit too young. But as I became an individual that was cognitive of the things that I did, the people that I wanted to emulate, I knew for a fact what came with it. So I didn't deviate from the code, the ethics, the tenets, the dogmas, or whatever the case may be.
The commandments that came with that.
Period. You dig? Now, it's not to say again, man, I am not gloating or boasting, man. You dig? And that's one of the reasons that I
No, but
really
I
don't go in.
actually think that is a strong characteristic of a human being. You're just shaping and molding it in a different way now. If
I
you
mean,
had
yo,
that
listen,
way and you got around someone that was on Wall Street or someone that could have pulled you into something else, you'd be sitting up somewhere, you know what I mean? But it was just the situation or the
that's
circumstances or how you were rolling.
that's crazy you say that, bro.
But you
Because
got
the
it
movie, the
fundamentally.
movie, the movie Trading Places was one of my favorites, man.
Oh,
Because
Eddie Murphy.
I always believe I was the Eddie. I wouldn't give a fuck if you put me in an office wherever you put me. I ain't gotta have a bachelor's, associate, a master's, none of that. If you let me see what I need to see, then guess what? I'm gonna reign
Figure it out.
supreme in my
Yeah.
own way. You dig? And I believe that with a lot of our people, and that's why we have been held down to the degree and oppressed the way that we've been oppressed, because the power that we know. You see, back when Martin and Malcolm and W.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington, you know, but mainly, man, the great Martin Luther King. I believe it was something wrong in the picture, in the push. And I think he came, and as I know, he came to understand it later. When we was asking for civil rights, we should have really been asking for human rights. We should have been fighting for human rights. Because the only thing that's different with the civil rights, okay, we want, they want to drink out of the water fountains, they want to shit in the same bathroom, okay, cool. But what they never wanted the power to be is for us to have financial stability. Financial stability allows us to do the same thing that y'all can do. You dig what I'm saying? And one thing about a winner and a loser, we learn it, we know it, we understand it.
Well, the
There's
interesting
always
thing about that is that during segregation, believe it or not, Black people had a higher marriage rate than white people.
absolutely.
Like I talked about earlier, the unemployment levels amongst Black teenagers and white teenagers, no comparison. Like Black people were thriving in this society where people said, hey, you stay over there, I stay over here. We can mix and mingle a little bit, but you know, I want you over there and you over here, and we can coexist like this. If for some reason the Black culture was able to thrive and get to a place where, you know, people were on the cusp of turning the curve, and then you get this guy, Lyndon B. Johnson, with the welfare. Let's get the people out the house. Let's, you know, fuck up education.
No. Let's get the men out of the household.
Yeah, that's what I said. So you can
Right.
get
You
the
know, now
welfare.
you said let's get the people out of the house, and you know this is what I mean about the designs, and even from the school to prison pipeline. So I don't want
Yeah, without a father, you are 10 times more likely for the worst shit on the planet to happen to you. Just waking up in the morning with a father in the house.
absolutely.
Just changes all that. So if you could get the father out, and then you could get the women to say F the men, and then raise the kids to dislike their father, and then get the boys to have this stigma with the women, and then get everyone to think that this is just the cycle of life, you flash forward, look what we got. Which is
Absolutely.
an incredible difference in comparison to segregation. Not saying segregation was cool, is what I'm saying. Like when the people came out and said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do all this great stuff for you. Don't worry. You don't gotta worry about yourself and be responsible or accountable anymore. We'll do it all." It like wrecked the situation. But I'll let you pick it up.
Nah, you absolutely right, bro. You know, you're absolutely right. You know, when it came to a lot of things that were implemented, you know, to basically, you know, take us off our pivot, so
Our
to speak.
spiritual path, our values and morals, and our social ethics. That's what was attacked. And
At
the
an
finance,
all-time high.
well,
At an
no.
all-time high.
And then the finances just get exploited in the end, because it's not like Black people don't touch money. During you look Black Friday, no pun intended, or this or that, but Black people spend a lot of money in society. It's just somehow the money isn't being brought back into the Black
Yeah,
community.
but to understand what black,
So
but this
that
is
is
the thing
crazy.
about Nick. You dig, because even with that, you dig, like Black Friday. if our people weren't afraid, I mean, the majority of our people weren't afraid to pick up a book and understand the where Black Friday derived from, would they be going to spend all the money that they're spending in these white establishments? Black Friday was a day that slaves were sold, bro. Like it's saying black and brown people. You think they got a thing where Fat Joe is speaking something about something disparaging about FBA. But to understand and to realize, regardless of what you want to believe, the actual fact is that every color derived from the black color.
Hold on, Frankie, real quick. Can you run that back? What is FBA for people that don't know?
FBA is supposed to be the foundation of Black Americans, if I'm not mistaken. If I was listening to it yesterday, I believe that's what it says. The foundation of Black Americans, about basically individuals who a lot of people are now having some kind of ill talk, saying that they're kind of like basically what you call the word oh man. Damn, bro, I'm lost the word, but it's basically like
Black
FBA
extremists,
renegade extremists, exactly. Like
black
they're
extremists,
like they're black extremists, and that they're perpetuating or
kind of
promote.
like
They're
for in
promoting.
layman's
They're
terms.
promoting. They're
Oh, sorry.
promoting. A radical black agenda.
Yeah, like how they were called the Israelites. That's what I was gonna say. When you go uptown and this and that and bop, and people will come about and be like, "Oh, these are radical black extremists." Stuff like that.
Which ethnicity? Which
Doesn't have
ethnicity or
that.
which nationality do we know that doesn't promote their own people? Like, why wouldn't you want to promote your own? Why wouldn't you want to see the growth and the prospering of your own? Why is it that, and this is what gets me, why is it that anytime we as blacks, we as Asiatics do something that shows some type of cohesive mesh or some type of unification or solidarity, now we become a target for other people to say that we're, somehow racist or promoting bigotry or so forth and so on. But when any other nationality or ethnicity or culture does it, it's cool. It's cool. I haven't to this day at 53 been able to wrap my mind around what makes us so threatening as black and brown people. And the quicker that even our brown people start to realize, like, yo, the history of where they derive from and where they were let off, or how the amalgamation process, started when people were, let off in Santo Domingo or Puerto Rico or any, South American,
Latin, Cuban,
Latin or Cuban, yeah, exactly,
yeah.
geographical region.
Yeah.
Then guess what? We will be able to better understand who we are as a people, not a separated people, not a people that has different nationalities or different ethnicities, but a people that derived. You dig?
Well, this is the thing that I think is the problem, me personally, with anybody that radicalizes stuff. And I'll use Black Lives Matter, for example. I was never a fan of Black Lives Matter. And people would ask me why. And I said, have you gone and read their website? I said, nah. I said, man, words and knowledge are power. And they always say, if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book, write it on a piece of paper. You know what I mean? So I said, hey.
But why just a black man? Why just a
Well,
black
man?
No,
there's a saying. There's
no. Actually, yeah. But I'm just addressing why as a black man. Because you got a lot of Caucasians, you got a lot of Latin descent that ain't picking up books to understand where they come from or how we can better.
Well, no. What I'm saying is just like a famous phrasing and saying that
understand, but you just said that words are power. So when we say these words or we repeat these
Yeah,
words,
but hold on. Let me finish, Frankie, so you can get the full idea of what I'm saying before you know what I mean? So now you're looking at this and they don't want to read what's going on the website. So if you go to the website, they want the men out the house. They want transsexuals moving in. They want everyone to be gay, and they have a radical agenda.
who
So what
wants
they
this?
this is Black Lives Matter when you would go look at their website.
Okay.
And when I went through and looked, I didn't, they have a mission statement, what they're trying to accomplish. These were the things they wanted to accomplish. It wasn't marriage workshops. It wasn't reconnecting fellas that are coming home up north with their kids with some type of summer camp. There wasn't vocational opportunities. There wasn't just leaflets and information that could help you financially get your credit together, or other things that would be like major consolations, I guess, because the prize and the money that they're getting that you could kick back to the people. So, which is very strange to me. So then, speaking of the
Nick.
radicalization, so they start to
Nick.
gain momentum, and nobody's really paying attention to what their
Nick,
agenda
let me
is.
ask- let me-
And
let
then
me-
they turn millions of people into feeling like America hates them and they're victims. And they're going to go out and start burning down their cities. They're going to start burning down black businesses, Spanish businesses, white businesses, destroying shit, looting, and tear their whole fucking town up. And this happened all across America. And these people made $100 million. And then all of a sudden, this woman, Candace Owens, said, "What's going on with you guys? Let me do a little investigation." And then they wind up finding out that Black Lives Matter is an acronym for buy large mansions in white neighborhoods. So then they start going out and finding out that Black Lives Matter lives in a 98% population in this community of white people. The other two is Indian and Asian. There's no black people around. They got white security guards guarding their houses. So now all of a sudden you realize you've radicalized people to donate to you, to destroy their cities, to seem as if you have this huge social, civil war kind of going on right now where things need to change. And then the minute that you can't get money or accept money, or things get a little too hot, now you slide to the side and you don't hear from them anymore. And you look at what happened in the sense of people being radicalized, destroying their community, donating all this money. They got nothing in return. So what I told people, instead of donating that $100 million to Black Lives Matter, everybody should have started pooling their money together to do things for their community. I got $5,000. Frankie Boo got 10 grand. Big Boo got 20 grand. This one got $800. Instead of donating it to these motherfuckers, let's get our money together and let's get our shit together. And what Star told me is that certain motherfuckers are looking for the Messiah. And whoever comes along, it seems like the Messiah at the moment, motherfuckers will go along with it. And then you're left in the end holding your dick. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And then you could pick that up. That's why I believe the radicalization of people through false narratives and half truths and not full understanding will lead people down a destructive path, because the Arabs started the slave trade, the Portuguese and the British and other individuals had the ships. The Africans were capturing the Africans and warring.
Absolutely.
The Indians were capturing Americans in America and owning them. The first black slave owner that was documented in America is an African-American man, Anthony Johnson. It's like, if you just look at the way the world was, King Leopold went to Africa and decimated that shit from Poland. The world was wicked. The world was horrible, and it was a barbaric place to live, which birthed the beautiful civilization and sophistication and just everything that we have now that has spawned from our history. So instead of radicalizing people to hate one group, why don't you radicalize people to understand that this was the way of the world? Morgan Freeman says it all the time. And different Denzel Washington and different black celebrities that are tired of the race baiting, that are tired of individuals constantly focused on race, when Motherfuckers back in segregation were like, race is the issue. Go over there, go over here. Who cares? Boom. And black people were doing better. But when you were able to flip black people into thinking they're victims, they're not worthy, and they have to be beneath white people. And this is going to be the mentality, the social economic status, and everything as a culture just started to really deplete. And that's what I gathered from this radicalization of people's mentalities who aren't true scholars. And the reason I know all this stuff is not because Nick is a smarty pants or anything. It's because I'm mixed. And my mother would play Frank Sinatra in the morning, and then she would play James Brown. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. So I had to figure out, what were the white people doing? What were the black people doing? The Spanish people don't fuck with me because I don't speak Spanish. You know, when we were younger, what were the Spanish people doing? So once I got a firm understanding and actual factual about what was going on in the world, I was no longer walking around feeling like someone could radicalize me based on their racial agenda.
You see what you're saying? And what you're saying goes to what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
I hear a lot of dudes, a lot of females, they say, yo, I don't really watch television because television is television. Oh, yo, I don't watch the idiot box. And I'm like, maybe because you're an idiot.
Well, it's because what you watch on the box, right?
No. Because if you as an individual would have taken just a modicum of time throughout your life to read a book, to conversate with people, to explore things that you have found out on your own, as opposed to the things that you have been given by somebody else, the things that you see on television, you will be able to decipher as truth or false. It wouldn't be an idiot box to you, because you would be able to look at that shit and be like, oh, wow. That's a jewel right there. I read that before. I seen that when I traveled over here before. I've seen how that play out before, because I've dealt with different demographics or different nationalities or so forth and so on. But when you got a limited mind and you've been to limited places and you allow other people to dictate how you think, why wouldn't it be television? Because everything that you've been living in life has been a lie that somebody else is fucking giving you. Why wouldn't it be an idiot box? Because you as an individual are a fucking idiot because you never explored the opportunity, even while you was in prison or outside of prison, to pick up a book and try to understand or find the worth or the value of life inside of those books through the eyes of other individuals before you or probably after you, who are writing a story that may resonate with you or is similar to the lifestyle that you've lived. So it's easy to accept the things that you've been given. It's easy to run on with the old cliche or the old adages that everybody else say as a fad. Because guess what? You ain't special. You just another chip off the fucking block that find it easier to accept the things that you have been given, as opposed to the opportunities that you have to explore in order to make yourself better or greater in life.
And you know what's crazy?
And then you look at other people and you look at a person that has done it, or look at a person that's striving to do it and say, yo, I don't fuck with her. Or I don't fuck with that nigga because that nigga think he this, that, that, or she thinks she just that. Nah, you just weak. You just insecure. You just ain't got what it fucking take, and it pisses you off that they naturally have what it takes to be greater than you in their own individuality. That's all.
And they don't have to do the tribalism game. And it's interesting because there's like a parallel within everything, because I watch everything you do, and I remember you mentioning that, and I'm not going to get into specifics or whatever, but there were times where you were doing, your stretch, and, maybe people were pushing the narrative that it wasn't popular to go do this program. It wasn't popular to go over here and get this information, or popular to do this or that. Bro. But you said,
bro, let me make it clear.
That narrative, I'm not going to be the victim, and you're not going to radicalize me. I'm going to go out and do what the fuck I want as an individual, because I'm an informed individual.
Yo,
and it
not,
all could break down on all different levels when you have that mentality.
Let's make this clear, bro. When I said that I changed, man, I changed for me and I changed for the people that loved me genuinely. You dig what I'm saying? And don't get it twisted. A lot of the people in the walls, they love me genuinely. They was on the front line with me. My nigga, my salutes to y'all. You heard? But at the end of the day, one thing that I learned early in life, man, and I was a dog. And that's that a dog does two things very well. They sniff ass and they smell fear. So a lot of individuals that was acting like they was somebody or that they had what it took, I smelt you. Not, this is figuratively, I sniffed you. I knew that you wasn't built. I knew that I didn't have, at a point in my life on this last bit, I knew that I didn't have to do certain things because you wasn't about the things that you were acting like you were about. You see, one thing about two lions, bro, two lions, they're going to either do one or two things. One is going to come from wherever he come from, and he's going to piss on a tree, and him and the other lion is going to take care of the pride and do whatever they do, and they're going to live harmoniously. Or they're going to clash. And one is either going to get killed, or he's going to get beat so bad that he's going to just wander off and probably die somewhere else in another part after the ash whipping that he's received. But you're not going to be amongst the pride.
Nor will the
I
pride
always
accept you after that.
So I always knew that it wouldn't be a motherfucker that was really cut from the cloth that I was cut from, and I don't say this on no braggadocious shit. I knew that it would probably be somebody that they manipulated to get next to me that would probably do me harm. They wasn't going to come because they knew what I was capable of doing. They knew that I wouldn't play the game with them, and they knew that I would smell a scent coming. So they couldn't get next to me in that aspect. And this is why I say with a lot of our young brothers and sisters that you may not be that adept. You may not understand these kind of walks and these kind. You know, one thing that I learned in that pen, bro, is that it was crazy that everybody in the facility knew about a cake being baked on somebody that was getting ready to get it, except for the person that was getting ready to get it. And that shit wowed me out. So it always made me that much more keener. Like, how in the hell, like, everybody in this mess hall know that it's getting ready to go down on you, but it seems that you're totally oblivious. That made my spider senses, that made my dog hairs that much more sharper. Because I'm saying that this dude, from the looks of it or from what I'm hearing, is somebody, or how could he be rocked to sleep so? You know, so
Do you think at times though, because there's a thing in the mafia where, you know, motherfucker hit you 1 a.m. or something. Hey, such and such wants to see you. I'm coming. We're taking a ride. You know what that ride is about, but you can't get out of it.
We kind of, I ain't gonna even hold you, bro. We kind of deviated off of the fact of, you know what I'm saying, dealing with, you know, issues like, you know what I'm saying, the brothers and the sisters that are languishing, like, and don't get it twisted, man, because, you know,
this is vertical talk. We just going up,
vertical
baby.
talk. Say that shit again, man. You know,
vertical talk. Everything we touching on is you can tie this together, and this is just when you listen back to this, Frankie, you gonna love this one. This is a good one right here.
Yo, man, you know,
if you would like to get back, I have some more clips if you want to get into, because speaking on this, we could piggyback and get into. You know,
you know what?
I want to say this.
I want to say this because just 3 days ago, I'm seeing my man. Well, I seen it, but my man hit me and he like, yo, bro, what do you think about this? And I said, yo, bro, you know what? It's a lot of variables, man, that exist. And it was about, I think he was 61 years old, and they just released him from prison. He did, if I'm not mistaken, 27 years. And
I got the clip for you. Yo, let me pull that up, Frankie. Hold on real quick. I know exactly what you're talking about, because Uncle Nick be doing his research, Sean. I be having all types of shit in the stash. Hold on real quick, Sean. Hold on.
Yeah, Pat and Chauncey, this one's a little bit different. I'm going to tell you about the arrest here. This is the picture. We have photos, rather, I should say, of the person that they arrested. This is actually security stills from the actual moments of the robbery going down. You see the guards there, the armored guard in the back. That's the suspect up there on the left. He allegedly pointed a gun at the armored car driver there and said, "Give me all the money." He ultimately took over $100,000 worth of cash from this armored bank. Now, because of the help of the LAPD and the security cameras from the bank, they were able to get a picture of him and the car and ultimately take this man into custody. He is now facing those federal charges of robbing the courier here, as well as bank robbery, because the robbery happened at a bank. Now, as we come back out to the desk, Pat and Chauncey, here's the kicker in all this. I told you this had a twist. This guy has done this before. He was actually in prison in the 80s and 90s, sentenced to 46 years in prison for a same exact crime.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the joint right there, Frankie?
That's it.
Because, you know, it's funny you brought that up because I had mad clips over here I was going to just try to hit you with, but these are all current events, so you on top of your shit, so you already saw it.
That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy because, yo, for real, man, like, I ain't gonna front, I'm kind of smiling right now because that's what this shit is based on. This is vertical talk, man, you know, like, and this shit, that spontaneous shit of current events, man, is what, you know what I'm saying, I want my viewers, I want my subscribers, I want the people that listen in and tune in or whatever the case may be, you know what I mean, to be able to, you know, not only, you know what I'm saying, you know, get from us, but, you know what I'm saying, as time go on and I'm able to get them phone lines up, call in, man, and give me their analogies, their theories, you know what I'm saying, their respective opinions and so forth and so on, man. Word. But yeah, man, this situation, it you know, it bothered me, bro, because I automatically go back to being inside those walls, and when certain laws had passed that gave, you know, that raised the hope or the belief that, you know, some of us was going to get a chance, you know what I'm saying, or be able to file some paperwork that was going to be able to get us up out of prison, you know, maybe even if it was a year early, you know what I mean, much more, you know what I'm saying, 5 or 10 years early, or life sentences taken off of us, you know, we became so, you know, ecstatic, you know, so, you know, to think about the brothers and sisters that's sitting in the walls and looking at like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying, some goofy shit like that, you know what I'm saying, is that gonna hinder, is that gonna stagnate the process of, you know, congressmen and judicial committees and judges saying, yo, man,
Mother, Frankie,
is this what we
now
gotta worry
you're
about?
getting into that vertical talk, because some might go back and dudes might have to, you know, he might get dealt with based off a situation where, you know, a dude hit the parole board and they sitting up there expressing example or and yo, you might be on, you know what I mean? You might be on somebody's ticket, put it like that. But you're more experienced in that realm. You pick it up.
Yeah, bro. Like, you know, that, you know, like I said, man, there's a lot of different avenues.
You fucking up the game, homie.
I mean, yo, bro, listen, I'm not going, yo, bro, I'm gonna tread lightly, and this is why, okay? Being inside those walls, man, I understand what those walls consist of, man, and what exists in there. So, you know, let me go on one side. Homeboy, 61 years old. I'm not sure exactly when he got released or whatever the case may be. I think they said 2021, if I'm not mistaken. If that's the case, what I do know is that the prison system now, man, has this thing where they do the tally up. And if you got a person that's 55, 60 years old or whatever the case may be, not saying that this is the case for him, but they got a lot of our elders, man, a lot of brothers that have been languishing in the walls for a long time. What they're doing now is under the compassionate release. They're releasing them. And they're releasing them because it costs more to hold them for the next 5 years, especially if they got a physical, you know, if they got a disease or they have a physical ailment like cancer or, you know, diabetes.
Hold on, Frankie. I want to clarify something for you because we got to be on point because, you know, Uncle Nick got the Googles. Los Angeles, an Inglewood man who in 2022 was granted compassionate release after serving 26 years in federal prison for armed robberies of armed carriers. Yo, that's crazy, son. How they armed and you armed, you laying them down. Anyhow, let me keep it pushing. Has been found guilty by a jury of robbing a Brinks courier at gunpoint in a bank parking lot near LAX in August 2023. The Justice Department announced today Markham David Bond, 61, was found guilty late Thursday of one count of interference with commerce by robbery, the Hobbs Act, and one count of using a firearm during a crime of violence, and one count of being a felon in possession of a firearm and ammunition. Bond has been in federal custody since November 2023. So it's interesting we're just finding out about this case now.
Absolutely.
It's like a year later.
Absolutely. Like I say, I don't, I ain't gonna front, man. After this situation, man, I want to delve more because I would like to be able to understand whether or not, he had any, what was the reason? Because with compassionate release, a lot of times, or oftentimes, I would say, they're basing whether or not, the judges are basing whether or not you have some kind of physical ailment, some type of physical like sickness, cancer, asthma, chronic asthma, things that they call basically they're mitigating circumstances in order to, press the judge to say that, I'm not getting the proper medical care inside of prison, and it allows the judge to take into consideration whether or not you would do better in the street after serving, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, 2/3 of your time, 2/3 of your sentence. And some people are getting out less than that. With in the case we see with Tut, you got 5 life sentences. You dig what I'm saying? After 27 years, that's considerably less than 5 life sentences. You understand what I'm saying? When I knew that in New York State or in prisons that I've been through previously, 25 life constitutes, before you can see the board. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, son.
So, with that being said, if you got 5 of them, you do the math. That's
And
125
keep
years.
it real, Frankie. I have friends that have done a lot of time like you too, or associates and things, and they say the first time you go to the board, most likely you ain't getting out that motherfucker, man. It sometimes take 2-3 times, man, just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And especially if you got a record and you've been keeping up fuckery while you was in there. So
yeah, little write-ups and shit. Yeah.
But again, man, like I want to say, because I want to be fair in my push of commenting on things, man. We don't know the reason. And I take it back to this. When you've been languishing in prison for 27 years and longer, you got to understand, if any of us seen Shawshank Redemption, the old white guy, you come out to a world. Hey, Nick.
No, go ahead, Frankie. I'm just leaving that on the screen because I read it, so I want the people to be able to read it. You do your one too.
You come out to a world that you no longer know. If we seen the movie Life, when Martin Lawrence, drove the old warden to go pick up the new warden, and he looking inside that Trailways or that Greyhound bus and looking at his face, and he looking at shit, and he like, yo, what the fuck? He looking at the afros on people, and he like, what the fuck is going on? You dig? Like, Tom has left you behind.
Holy shit, that is crazy. So Frankie, that you bring that up.
So when you looking at that from a dude who may have or may not have a sickness, and the system has released him, and now he's going out, and let's say the sickness is cancer, yet you don't have no Medicare, you don't even know how to go about going to social service or social and do anything. You dig? Bro, I just going on 16 years, and bro, shit was crazy. Shit is still crazy fucking hard to really try to assess and accomplish certain things. And if it wasn't for the individuals like yourself and others who are complimenting me and helping me and assisting me and all along the way telling me, yo, bro, just maintain, take it slow, breathe easy. But that's also attached to the humility that I learned and the patience that I learned while in prison doing all that time.
You know what just struck me just now? You said something. Niggas got love for you, Frankie. They always had love for you. You a real motherfucker, son. Son might not have love. There's people out here that are scumbags, and people really
Absolutely.
don't like them. Well,
Absolutely.
he might just be one of them dudes that's like,
Or maybe he's not. Maybe
no,
he
no, no, no,
just
no.
don't
I'm
have
just
nobody
saying, like,
because his family died. Maybe his
well, no, no, no,
in
no,
27
Frankie. Let's
years.
keep it real. There's certain people that just don't care. You've been out since 2022. You somehow whatever was going on. They I bring up these charts right now. They say the majority of individuals, what's the word? Recidivate within the
A
first
year, 3 years.
The first year and the second year are usually violent crimes, and then
Right.
the third year is usually a crime out of desperate, like just a desperation and a destitute situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where you're like, yo, fuck him. I might get
But
locked up, but I can't do this no more.
it goes back to what we spoke about on one of the last platforms when I was saying a lot of brothers or sisters, they get these, HVACs and these electrical situations and then have to come out to real life society and are not given that opportunity to be able to utilize that HVAC or that electrician. However, if they would have came out with not only a HVAC, but had a barber's license or knew how to landscape and push that lawnmower, it would have been maybe a little
you
bit
know
more.
what, Frankie? I'll be seeing that dudes be having dogs in jail. Maybe if they would have went and got with the dogs, maybe they have a dog business like Uncle Nick. You hear me? But that's one thing that really touches my heart. And I say, yo, dogs are the best motherfuckers on the planet, son. Duke was in the free world, eating bones, sniffing ass, banging coochie, and now he up in here doing 3 hots in the cot with you, but he's giving you
gotta also take into consideration. You gotta realize, that dog program, because I've been in a facility that had the dog program. You gotta realize.
Oh, word, Frankie. I love dogs. Talk about
it. I've been in situations, man, with these programs, and again, it goes back to something you said earlier. You very seldom have a motherfucker that comes through that are like, you know what I'm saying, whether it be the touch, whether it be myself, whether it be the Shaquas, whether it be the good men that I do know of, you dig what I'm saying, who have done these long bids, the big understandings, the Shaquims and so forth and so on, who are able to say, fuck that, yo, Playboy, I done did enough of y'all. Now I'm getting ready to do me. Because in these same environments, you got these dudes, you dig, big bros, OGs, old goofies. You dig? Telling dudes, yo, bro, you can't go over there. That's where the rat's at. Yo, you can't go over there, man.
That's what I brought up earlier, but I wanted you to say it, not me.
Programming. You don't do programming. You dig? So again, if you don't have that courage, if you don't have that resolve to say, you know what, man, I don't know what the fuck that nigga talking. I'm going over here. They giving a year off of time over here. They letting me get to a fucking FCI. They helping me get a GED.
What is an FCI, Frankie? Break that down for the people that don't know. Sorry.
It's just a lower security. So
lower classification. Got you.
It's a lower classification. So when you're in a pen, when you've been in these super maxes or these maximum security prisons, FCI is right up under a penitentiary. It's still
basically prison. This is your report card showing that you're doing good and getting better grades.
That you're doing better. After that, you can go to a low. After that, you can go to a minimum. A lot of individuals such as myself, because of my record and because of the status in which I was on, I couldn't make it to those lower, points, and which is kind of crazy. Because here it is, even when it was time for me, I couldn't make it to a motherfucking low or minimum, but I could make it to work release. I could make it to a halfway house. And a halfway house is basically you out. So how wasn't I able to? But this is how the system is twisted in certain aspects, because the same individual that you say can't make it to a minimum and low to better situate himself to be more productive and constructive when he does get to society. You're telling them, yo, FCI is the furthest you can go because you got such and such, or because you're part of or affiliated with this, that, and the third. But however, once your time is up, they could send you straight out to a halfway house with no skills or with anything. And now you're in the, you right after the halfway house, after 4 days or 5 days, guess what? You can get your first pass to actually.
Well, you know what makes sense to me about that, Frankie? Because it's all about money. Possibly if you go down to these low-ranking places or this or that. I hear people all the time, they be on YouTube, and they say, oh, I got cut up north. I try to sue the jail. I try to do this. I was trying to get a bag. Boop, 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 pop, pop, pop. Maybe, they just didn't want to have to pay a bag to somebody because they said, hey, maybe Frankie get mad one day, or maybe this guy get mad or whatever. And I know you wouldn't do that. Unless you're like, really forced to handle your candle. You're not over there, trying to fuck around. You're trying to get out. But, maybe there's less red tape to just release Frankie to the halfway house opposed to the lawsuit or the bullshit or the write-ups or whatever I'm gonna have to deal with on this side coming back this way. You know what I'm saying? Like even the guy that got released after 27 years, maybe there's a new guy coming in with a 46-year sentence who might have to do 30. You already, get the fuck up out of here, son.
Bro, I would like to believe you on that. Those people don't think like that, man. From my experiences in prison, they don't give a fuck. They gonna hold you as long as they can hold you, knowing they still got a motherfucker coming in with 40 years. That, it's all...
Well, no. I mean, in California, they have an overpopulated jail system. In California, you could get sentenced to 10-year bid and come out in 2 years or 18 months because the days and the time is equated and marked up in a certain way where...
You hear what you're saying? You're saying state prison as opposed to the federal prison.
Well, no. I'm just talking about in California in general. Like, because that's where he got caught up at. That's kind of where that play comes in where, they might do XYZ, but he's in the feds, like you said. So that's a different situation. But
exactly
touching on that,
we have to touch as accurately as we can because state facilities and federal facilities are two different, entities. And the feds,
well, no, he's in the feds now, I believe, because of the situation, and he was maybe in the feds prior to that, but from up here it just says the Central District of California. And I know that at times, they have a little leverage or a little lenience or a little influence on certain things. So I know that after a certain period of time in California, the jails do get crowded, whether it's the federal or this or that. And they, not so much the federal, like you said, the state, it's like a revolving door where people who do shorter bids come back out to come back in. And I guess that's more bang for the buck, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I just look at it on an overall aspect. And what I know now is that, the United States of America, has the largest incarcerated population than any other country, period. And that's been like that for years. You understand what I'm saying?
And I think that's because we have the most opportunities to make money. And I think a lot of times the idea of people pursuing something that they think is going to bring them instant gratification and also, and well, just let me finish, Frankie. And that will bring them instant gratification and also some sense of worth and overlord kind of status when it comes to dealing with family or the streets or your little block or whatever the case may be. I think people jump out the window sometimes for those opportunities. And I believe like in a place like that is more strict, where if you don't wear your burqa, you'll get fucking stoned to death or some shit. Or if you're gay, you're getting thrown off a roof. I think people have less of a will to go out and buck the system, go against the grain, knowing the severity of things. But I think New York and just America in general is so rich and wealthy, and you can get out there and really in a New York minute fucking turn your life around. I think that sometimes is too overwhelming for people. And unfortunately, they go out there and they do a lot of fucking horrific shit, And then there's other people. Hold on, Frankie. On that note, let me pull something up for you right now.
No, because
no, hold on, Frankie. You gotta see this, Frankie.
No. I heard that shit you said. And to some degree, a very small degree, I'll say that you may have a little merit. But I believe it's much bigger, fish, so to speak, to fry in that equation. Like the systemic disparities and the racial ethnic subordination and the police tactics and the charge.
Well, I mean, you look at the police tactics.
No.
You look at New York right now.
Whoa, Nick. Whoa, Nick. What you don't look at, I have to look at. This is vertical talk.
No. Yeah, these are things I didn't mention. It's not that these are things that I don't look
you
at.
know what? That's a part of
If
the
you bring up
equation.
the police and you bring up these things, it's systemic. How are black women graduating college at a higher rate than white women, becoming millionaires faster than white women, and black men are dominating many different sports and creating generational wealth, but there's this systemic racism. Where's the systemic racism?
Maybe it's that right now they're occupying themselves to some degree, or maybe the possibility that, guess what?
I think people are radicalized to believe they're victims.
Everything ain't being noted now. You dig? I mean, maybe the fix.
What can you hide nowadays? Be honest. They just found the Heisman Trophy's girlfriend twerking it up in 2020. I feel bad for the brother. I'm not going to get into it. He doubled down. He was like, we were together for 5 years. She was my boo. Boop, boop, boop. Dudes just showing DMs of her.
Like I said, man.
It's all convoluted, man.
Well, like I said earlier, man, the greatest trick that the devil ever tried to prove to the world is that he didn't exist. You dig? Deception is one of America's greatest motherfucking talents. You dig? So
no, it's not America's greatest talent.
I'm not here to say
the world's greatest
I'm not here
talent.
to say that this is
Frankie,
actual.
we are the
I'm just
smallest
saying that
nation in the world.
There's a probability that, guess what? The potentiality of a fix being in, or guess what? They're highlighting certain things to make, to how we say hoodwink individuals. Is it so? I mean,
what I say is we're the youngest nation in the world. So how does the little brother with 8 brothers before him start running shit? What the what are all your brothers
man,
doing?
Listen, man, I grew up in a household, and guess what? The younger brothers, by their time that they was teenagers, there was a lot more gifted than the elder brothers, because they was sitting back watching to the 2 brothers that was before them. So they was picking up everything and the actuality of.
No, I get that, Frankie, but we're talking about running a nation of millions of people. It's a little different.
I mean, no, it's not really different. It's no different from the
no, because you have so many different levels of characteristics, personalities, individuals, families, races.
So let me ask
like,
you, how does a 5-year-old work an iPhone better than a 30 or 40-year-old? And never dealt with it, but gets on it and figure it out like it's nothing.
Well, I think because that's the world and the lane that they're in. But would a 5-year-old in 1960 be able to do that if you gave him that phone?
Who knows? We can't speak on.
I would say I would beg to differ. I just think that with the times,
I believe
young people get involved and they want to know what's going on. Just like the kid might be able to work the phone right now, but they can't pass a high school test from 1932 or from 1890 because people aren't informed anymore. So there's different ways you could flip that,
I will go with you to some
but
part.
No. I agree that young people are sponges. They absorb things and they soak it up.
And
what I'm talking about, as
Solomon said, there's nothing new under the sun. So
no,
I
that's
believe
cool.
that
But
in
us
the
being
time
the youngest
of then,
nation, how the fuck? Oh, pardon me. How the fuck did y'all have everything locked down? Y'all got the navies. Y'all got the Arab empires. You got the prestige over there out east with the Asian empires and different things and all this different stuff going on. You had the Nazis. You had this one. You had all these people doing whatever they were doing in the world, and America always had to step up and say, "Get over here." All right. You Japanese people, you want to act crazy? Guess what? I'm going to blow you the fuck up. Now, what is Japan? They don't do suicide bombing no more. They don't think they're going to take over the world. They mind their business. They peaceful. Nobody steals. There's no garbage anywhere. And everybody's cooling. And they all about technology, fly-ass denim. They do the polo shit crazy out there. Salute to them. But they have a very dignified social society that is of a higher caliber. And the sense of what people want to compare what America's supposed to be to. But how did they get there? Because America had to step in and fuck they shit up, just like Germany. Germany had the best
architecture, I learned, bro.
Best cars. They do the best shit, Frankie, but we had to go over there and whoop they ass. The British had to calm down. We told them, take that tea, get the fuck out of here, son. That's what America's about. If you acting out, we're gonna put you in line. And I think Frankie Boo can agree and embrace that, and that's
No,
what you're about.
I agree. I agree. And I'm not gonna say I necessarily embrace it, because what I do know also is that a motherfucking sworn enemy of you, you never know just how cunning or what they may be doing and ready to do or preparing themselves to do at the opportune time. When you're dealing with individuals that you have done bad things to, just because you forget don't mean they forget. So I hear what you're saying, and I hear your analogy of thinking that maybe Japan is just this cool, calm country that's on technology and ain't on it. You don't know that for sure. I don't know that for sure. And
I watched the president the other day. He said that he would allocate 100,000 jobs and $1 billion to the American economy. Donald Trump grabbed him by his fucking back of his neck, because Donald Trump's tall. He's a little midget. And then Donald Trump said $2 billion. He said, okay, I'll try to make it $2 billion.
Yeah,
$2 billion, we're going to do
why?
X, Y, Z.
You know why? You know why?
That's what America does, son.
You know what? No. What America does in a lot of sense is underestimate. Like Tony said, no. Like Frank said,
they don't want no smoke, Frankie. Trust me.
Nick, I ain't say nothing when you stop it.
Oh, sorry.
Japan
don't want no smoke with us.
The other guy's greed, Nick. Don't ever underestimate the other guy's tenacity. Don't ever underestimate the other guy's ferociousness. Don't ever underestimate the other guy's cunningness. Who's more cunning, Nick? The rabbit or the
rabbit
fox?
Or the fox? Gotcha.
Okay then. So at the end of the day, that's where a lot of people, Nick, that's where a lot of people go wrong in life.
No, Frankie, this is what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you more context. I watched a lot of documentaries on.
Bro, I don't care nothing about the documentaries.
No, you have to care, because I watched the soldiers,
Nick,
all the soldiers. Hold on, Frankie, hear this out.
Nick, what resides in a person's heart, you and I don't usually see it.
That is true, but the Japanese culture is very different than American culture. I dated Japanese girls. You ever dated a Japanese girl?
I haven't.
Okay, so I know very thoroughly what their culture exists of, what their principalities are, what their last name means to them, and what their family, how should I say, legacy means, in the sense of how you're going to conduct yourself and act in society, and what the repercussions and the repercussions of that it is. So with the Japanese, hold on, Frankie. So with the Japanese right now, I told you, I watched these documentaries where when their fathers got bombed, their grandfathers got bombed and had nothing, these niggas said they never wanted to fight again. They obliged to become a peaceful society based on the premise of growing outward through humanity, through dignity, and through technology.
You know what? My man Tim Ford Facts used to say, you know what? I want to believe you. But guess what?
No, you. I'll send you the articles. You could go read
it. I'm not saying you.
When they look at America,
I'm not saying you.
They love us for what we made them become.
I'm not saying you, Nick. You're missing my point. I'm saying them. I want to believe you. However,
yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying, Frankie.
I don't have the luxury.
You don't believe them, but you want to believe me.
That are people who got decimated. And yo, listen, bro. You was the one that just told me just the other day that you was dealing with people, the youngins, their sons and daughters, but you knew that their mothers and fathers was racist as fuck.
Yeah.
I did.
But I stopped dealing with them once I realized their parents were racist. I never went to their house again.
Okay, then my point is, guess what? Though you were cool with the children, you never understood what the father or mother may have been contemplating or thinking about doing.
And that's what the Japanese realized. They got decimated. They got fucked up. They're intelligent. And they said, this is not the way of life. And that's why they're our ally now. And that's why they're going to donate $2 billion. And they're going to bring 200,000 jobs over. And this is what I'm trying to highlight. There's times where America has to go out in the world, just like Frankie Boo. You got to go clean up the block. Bang, 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 bang. What the fuck is going on over here? And that's what America does.
No, that's what I used to do. What Frankie Boo now doing?
No. Now you're doing it with vertical talk. It's just a different way.
So it's a difference.
Yeah,
there's a difference.
It's a different word. It's a different platform.
No, Nick. There's a difference, and I don't want the difference of things to be misconstrued or interpret it wrong because, as you said earlier, words are power. So people that are listening, they hear what you say, and they will automatically sometimes grasp what you say or I say right in that moment, just to have something to say. I told you.
But yeah, if
Or,
they been listening to us in totality, they could never even
yo,
fix
bro,
themselves
listen,
to
we
come to that point.
just spoke about the idiot box and television. People hear what the fuck they want to hear, Nick.
Oh, but we don't got to worry about them. We're talking about the intelligent people that are going to support us. They're going to listen
bro,
to
you
this.
always let me make this clear. You always got to worry about them.
Not on YouTube. That's what I'm talking about.
Yo, listen, bro. Wherever there's a pro, there's a con.
Oh, definitely.
All right. So at the end of the day, this is
what's the
people,
con of YouTube? Some fucking
no, I'm
idiot
not
in his
saying. What I'm
mother's
saying is
basement
this,
popping
bro.
shit or
The
flagging a video.
underestimating
Fuck
of
them.
people's intellect, the underestimating of people's bravado, the underestimating of people's physical aggression or physical capabilities of dealing with something is something that a strategist or a true warrior or a real dude knows not to underestimate.
But Frankie Boo, you said you know as a dog, you know when you sense fear and you smell a dog's ass, not in the sense. So
the reality,
I do that. And when I see these people, I say, you're like this, you're like that, you're like this, you're like that. And if you take me to this level, I have no problem doing it because I've done it before. But
okay, Nick,
that's not how I'm living.
Does that always mean you're going to be right?
I would say there's a high probability that I'm going to be in the right if I.
You can only hope that, bro.
No. I don't hope because the bank ain't based on hope, Frankie. Your credit score ain't based on hope. You got to put in action, son. So I think with the things that I have going on in my head,
algorithms, and you have to meet. You dig you have to meet the criteria that people have created behind the scenes. So it's not just about, it's about me putting in work to try to attempt to get my credit right or whatever case may be, or your credit right. But you still got people that's behind the scene, and guess what? They didn't go in and go on that computer and hit one button, and guess what? You wake up tomorrow morning and your credit score done went from an 800, all because of a glitch, or all because of Credit Karma or Experience say you was late on a payment that you never was late on.
And you know what, Frankie? When you're so advanced in life, you just fall back, you just smile. You just be like, all right, you highlight customer service in your whip while you're drinking your Starbucks.
Stop it, Nick.
And it's easy. I deal with it all the time. Uber does it to me.
Bro, you were just frustrated earlier. You were just frustrated about people switching up the dynamics of your business.
Yeah, I was frustrated because I didn't have things.
Easy, you could be
no. I wasn't frustrated about that. I was frustrated that you would take me out of a situation that was prosperous for me and put another person in there thinking that I'm doing so great in life because I carry myself and I look a certain way that I might not need mine. But it doesn't mean that I need it and I'm fucked up. But business is business. I want how my boy said, if a nickel bag gets sold in the park, I want in.
Okay, so what does
do I need the fucking $2?
Hold up.
Or is it about principle?
That could sound kind of like narcissistic. That could sound kind of inconsiderate for the fact of another person's, way of thinking. Maybe they want to give another person a shot. Maybe they think, or maybe they feel that Nick is okay. But this dude over
it's not that Nick is okay. It's a personal friend that fucked up in life, that didn't think correctly, that made a lot of bad decisions. That
in whose eyes, Nick? In whose eyes?
In reality,
in his eyes, he thought he was.
And no. I'm not gonna get and divulge all this person's financial information and everything.
All right, then let's leave it alone.
No. You brought it up. You brought it up. But this person fucked up in life, and because you're fucked up and you made a lot of bad decisions, now I gotta fall back because someone wants to help somebody because they were doing something else. And that's totally fine. But the principle and the matter of the fact is that I handle my business accordingly, and I would never take something away from somebody that I told them I would let them get off their word to help somebody else out that can't keep their word or a fucking logical thought or make good decisions for themselves and put themselves 6 feet beneath the earth and are still trying to scream from their grave. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't jack that.
I got you.
But if you go through certain things in life,
now guess what?
I'm there for people.
That's said. I understand what you're saying. But
it was multiple months of this person making those decisions.
This joint is about to be, finito. And in that, I wanna say something about the individual you brought up. You
Mhm.
brought up before we came on, the dude that did the 30 years or whatever the case may be. And after 3 years, he still says that he hasn't.
Oh, can I play that clip real quick, Frankie?
Can you play that clip? Why? I mean,
Let's
why
get to it, son.
did that?
Boomerang. Let's get it, boy.
All those decades was gone just like that.
Tonight at 11, he spent nearly 3 decades behind bars for a murder he did not commit. And now this Brooklyn native who was exonerated back in 2020 is still adjusting to life outside prison.
New York State has had the 3rd highest number of exonerations in the country. Jennifer Bisram takes a look at what life is like after finally being freed.
Why'd you buy this house?
I buy it because the trees over there, like, it makes me think of freedom.
210 miles away from his New Jersey home at Auburn Correctional Facility in New York is where Gerard DeMond spent most of his adult life as inmate 89A8836, with many sleepless nights on hard jail beds surrounded by prison guards and violence.
Jump in there, boom, boom.
Now at age 62, he's finally living outside of prison walls in a house with his family.
Damn.
Salutes to the boy Gerard, man. I definitely understand.
Rastaman, stand up. Ja.
Yeah, I definitely feel it, man. You know what I mean?
All
Like, yeah,
right.
man. Them people, man. So yeah, man. In closing, man. Like, yo, real talk, man. This is about, the brothers and the sisters, man. And I'm thankful. A person like Gerard, man, has been exonerated, man. I'm thankful for, the brother Tut, getting a new lease.
Shout out my boy Trump. Let's go.
I'm thankful, for the boy, Shaquell, Mandu, Akbar Prey. You dig, my man Cheese, a lot of brothers, man, who reap the rewards of that First Step Act, man. And I just want to say, man, like, yo, at the end of the day, man, this is directed, man, again, man, at my little homies, man. The young bulls, the young kings, the young queens, man. Like, every action has a reaction. There's a cause and effect in life. You dig? So I just implore y'all, man, to be, better thinkers, man. I implore y'all to, analyze and assess the individuals that you're looking up to mimic or emulate. But more than anything, man, I implore y'all to, take these words of advice from me, man. That prison shit is real. And
Frankie, when they started the riot over the toilet paper and the fucking shit was running out of the toilet and I hadn't even gotten the full upper yet and everything was lit, and then dudes was what I said, yo, man.
bro, listen, like
that was Frankie, that ain't even an experience that, like, that's mad minimal to your shit, but I knew what you were saying, like, yo, son, this is not what the kids want, because I always ask the kids, they be like, acting tough. I said, where you gonna take a shit? The simplest thing. They said, what? What you mean? So when you go to jail, where you gonna take a shit, son? What bunk you sleep in? What? I didn't get into all that. I'm not like the super jail dude, but just the little minimal things that I experienced. I was like, wow, man. Because when you gotta take a shit, man, it's real, son. But anyhow,
man, shit is a natural thing. Let's think about, some of the unnatural things, and that's just like going from one spot to another and having to bend and fucking squat in front of another man.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Let's think about, you dig what I'm saying, the degrade.
Cough twice, turn left.
Chill, parlay for a minute, beloved, please, man, because I want this to really reach out to the people, man. Like,
oh no, I was just saying the cough twice, turn left. When you bend over, they be like cough. Just giving the people the real deal. When you get in there, they ain't no just bending over. They be cough, nigga, cough again. Do this, turn your butt. I used to be like, yo, how you do so happy about looking at butts and making people cough but it's real in the field. But go ahead, Frankie.
It's real because it's their job. And they got a job to do. And at the end of the day, like I tell a lot of dudes, man, even when I was in there, man, like a lot of dudes, they like to say, oh, this dude did this to me, or this dude that. You know what the fuck you signed up for. And a lot of these little dudes are throwing these rocks at these penitentiaries, man. They may not know what they signing up for. And they don't know what they signing their family up for if they got loved ones. You dig? Having your moms have to come through and, you know what I'm saying, shake her breast out in front of another jealous or envious woman who's mad that she has to work in a prison system. You dig? And your mom's or your wife comes through looking better than she looks. So now she wants to take her through all kinds of trivial matters just to hope that your wife acts up so she could send her ass back out. And you're sitting in the pen in the block wondering why your name ain't get called yet. You dig? You dig? Or, you know, like I was saying, you know, having to go through these situations.
No word to my mother, Frankie. That, because, you know,
Nick,
that would have Uncle Nick on your ass, like on some, like you just said, you don't know what's in the hearts of men. That right there, yeah, you would be on my ticket. Like, no matter, you do that to mine,
you ain't gonna, Nick, Nick, you ain't gonna do that. You're not gonna tell me that. You dig? Because you, like, yo, listen, bro, it's happening. And guess what? You gonna endure it. So
yeah,
no, Nick, chill, bro, please. You gonna endure it. You gonna endure it like so many other gangsters, gladiators, warriors, and comrades had to endure it. You gonna bend the fuck over and you gonna cough.
So, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about I did it. That's why I say the two coughs to the left and they make you cough again.
Yeah,
I'm talking about my wife coming in and you pushing her up and you going in her panties and you checking her bra and you trying to make my wife feel so discouraged that she don't even ever want to come here again because she feels disgusting and she don't even want to deal with this man no more because look what this man has exposed.
Yeah, but yours did. Yours did.
Yeah.
Yours did. I did, bro. I'm not talking about the you.
Yeah.
I'm not
no. I'm saying if they cause that after effect of that situation,
calm down,
it would be on, Frankie.
Nick, listen.
No visits? Oh, hell no. You getting got, woman. Or whoever did that on that dance floor. But my bad. Go ahead, Frankie. I'm getting hyped.
I don't know that to be, bro. I don't know that to be. And I'm not saying that you wouldn't. And I'm not saying that you would.
I've never been put in a position like that, but I've been put in a position in life.
So let's not
No, in real life where somebody does something
Nick,
and I gotta check that situation.
You stepping, Nick, because if you haven't been placed in that position, there's no way for you to talk about it. I have. And it's personal to me, Nick. So this is why I'm asking you, you dig, because I don't want nobody to misconstrue the BS that comes with that. The BS that you may have to feel one day that you want to pop this police.
That's what I'm talking about, Frankie. I'm not saying whatever. I'm saying that feeling you're bringing up, that's what I'm trying to say.
Then say that.
Well, we're talking. We have a long conversation.
I want them to know that guess what? This comes with it.
That's what I was trying to say. You do that to my wife, I'm gonna want to pop you, nigga.
You gonna wanna and you doing this two different things, bro.
No, you gotta wait for the right moment. It ain't like we just walk. You in jail, nigga.
Check this out. That's a whole lot of other shit with that, bro. Because now if you do that, then guess what? You get no visits no more. So you got to always think it's multiple facets to it. So we're not gonna just make the people think.
So if my wife is calling me on the phone saying I can't do this no more with you, baby, I'm out of here. I ain't getting no fucking visits anyway now.
But guess what? Guess who did that? You did it.
No, the CO did it because she ran through her panties, ran through everything and made it feel uncomfortable. No. You're talking about the COs that oppress people and don't treat them normally.
If you are not locked up for being an innocent man in the streets that did no crime, you did it.
I never did a crime in my life, Frankie. I always just got arrested.
You're not hearing what I'm saying, Nick. Slow down and listen, please.
I listened to what you said.
No, I said that if you're not an individual who went to prison totally innocent, whatever happens to your family that has rendered themselves susceptible to it because they want to come see their loved one who threw a rock at the penitentiary in the first place, then guess what? All is fair in that game of war right there. Now,
yeah, but I was always innocent. I never did a crime. They would just arrest me for stuff, and
I'm not talking about you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
I'm talking about me because
bro.
we're talking to each other.
Right, but what I'm saying is I'm talking about the ones that's out there throwing these rocks at the penitentiary who may potentially have to go through this type of treatment, Nick. And now they're trying to find excuses to say, yo, I don't like the fact police did this, police did. No, bro. Police ain't do that. Police did their job. They were hired. You threw a rock at the penitentiary and you brought your ass into this penitentiary. And guess what comes with that penitentiary? Them being able to play with your wife, disrespect your wife or degrade your wife, take her through all kind of situations, not only just your wife, but even your moms, your father, your brother, the few homeboys that may come. So I'm not talking about the individuals who didn't do anything, and by some twisted reason, they wind up coming to prison, but they're totally innocent. I'm talking
Yeah, I
about
was innocent like 15, 25, 30 times, Frankie. They just used to do stuff to me. So the thing that I look at is when I used to go to jail and I get remanded and shit for those months or whatever. I always skip bids. I don't give a fuck about calling people. I don't want no fucking visitation. And I immediately used to put that in my head.
Oh, Rick, Nick.
I tap out from all that stuff.
Everybody's everybody's not you, homie. The majority of people, guess what? Human beings are sociable individuals. So even when they done wrong, guess what they want? You dig? Dudes that was treating women like shit out in the street, I was one of them. When you get there, you want that visit. You want that companionship. You got a few. Now I ran into those kind of individuals that tell their wife, yo, don't come see me, don't bring the kids up there. But it ain't been a lot of them.
That's how I was moving.
That's you. But guess what? Again, you said you had a skin bid.
Skin bid, of course.
Well,
I'm talking about if I had to do that.
You are not in the equation, Nick.
No, but I'm talking about my mentality. I know my mentality from that point.
Yo, bro, listen, for skin bid, anybody can have that mentality.
We're getting too combative, Frankie. We're yelling at each other.
It's not combative. It's that you're saying things.
We've been out for 2 hours, Frankie. Why don't we simmer this down? Why don't we get into this next clip and wrap this up and then get on our direction? Because I got stuff to do for the rest of the night. It's about to be Christmas Eve tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And we can pick up this discussion later. How you feel about that, brother?
I mean, I'm all for everything, Nick, but I'm not going to allow you to just say anything that
No. And you can't tell me how I feel.
I'm not telling you how
you're
you feel.
like in my brain.
I'm telling you how.
You don't know what I would do or I wouldn't do based off what you didn't hear or what you did hear. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gauging you off that either. I'm telling you as I respect your word, and I think you would do the same because you always do. Like, this is how I feel. And if these things are going on based off the little limited shit I had to do, I already know that if this came to a more severe situation moving forward, you would have saw more different styles from Uncle Nick. You know what I'm saying? But I applied myself based on the situation. You know, all the blood niggas from the east side or in Spanish Harlem over here, 103rd over here, bad news, this, what that. You know what I'm saying? All them niggas was locked up with me. So them was my friends. I'm not a blood. I don't, you know what I mean? But everywhere I go, yo, Nick, what up? Because I'm a fun nigga. I'm a cool nigga. I help niggas get money. Yo, hit this bitch. Do this. You know what I'm saying? It's just how I was in the streets that made me loved inside of there. So like me having to like connect with the outside or do this or do it, I was like, yo, I'm here. I'm gonna embrace this and I'm learning, Frankie, and I'm in college. So if I'm in college, that world ain't for me no more. So I realized pretty quickly, you can't do that. You can't be trying to be all dictating the real world. I used to see niggas every 5 minutes running to the phone, angry, happy, doing push-ups, doing this, doing that. And it's like, yo, son, but you over here asking a nigga for a fucking instant coffee pack right now. So evidently you ain't getting money off all these phone calls. You know what I'm saying? So what is we doing? We just working ourselves up. That's where the art of war, things you talk to me about. You know what I'm saying? Sun Tzu,
it's also understanding that guess what? The way that person applied himself, that's what he had. That was whether it was whether he was the bully and he was able to get on the phone that many times. You had other dudes that guess what? They didn't have to get on the phone no time. Their family just sent them money. There's a plethora of different aspects, characteristics, and qualities. So what I was telling you, or what I'm saying to you, and what I'm sharing to you is that, yo, you can't put your scenario in a sense of individuals like me.
No, I didn't try
can't
to do that. I just talked about how I would roll. But I think you took it as I was trying to speak in general for all of us. And I apologize for that because sometimes Big Boo, your cousin, always tells me sometimes you don't specify shit. You talk a little
Yeah,
loose-ended,
bro.
Nick.
And when you speak,
So that might have been my fault in articulating myself. My bad.
Nah, it's all good. It's that's just that's what we getting at, because we want the people to be able to understand that, yo, listen, we're not just coming at it from a perspective of us. We have to have that mindset that there are other people that are going through these situations in real life and in real time. And when they're hearing certain things, they're trying to understand, wow, I could apply that, or that resonates with me. You said something that I said about my mom's, or whatever the case may be, that resonates because of the similarities.
Oh, Joe, word to my mother's son, I had got caught with 55 cracks. I used to sell a lot of crack, man. I thought I was the man, son. I was in Bridgeport, Connecticut. You know, I was young. I was 16. Well, I was 15 when I got caught, but the case ended at 16. But I ain't gonna get into names, but yo, the blackest, I never forget, man. This was my dude right here, son. Yo, we used to play ball, we used to get it in. I do all this shit. And then one day he left the court, you know what I'm saying? And I seen him do a couple things, and like he just talked to, but I'm like, yo, whatever. He came, nigga, man. So I was like, yo, son. So from there, it was off to the races. So I was like, yo, we learned to cook up, we learned to all this, you know what I mean? But when I got caught up, you know what I'm saying, my mother came, and you know, I had you know, the assault rifles, the hand, like I had different things going, and my, you know, my sister, word is born. I don't really give a big shout out, but you know, I will on this. Yo, I love her to death. She saved me. She took all that shit out the house, son. Because all that shit was under my mattress in the joint. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, for my sister to carry all this shit outside in a bag, and she found a bag and she threw it over the gate and took it over the gate and then put it in the shed over here. And you know what I'm saying? Like, she saved me, because I would have really had a more bigger problem than the fucking crack. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, in the end, long story short, I realized that it's all about connections. You know what I'm saying? So my lawyer went to college with the judge. So all I had to do was pay my fee. You know what I'm saying? Italian staff, son. So I showed up to every court, a date. I did everything. You know, when you got paid lawyer, you first one in, first one out, or that. And that situation kind of opened my eyes to a lot of different things. But yeah, that was my first experience where, you know, I had to kind of combat life with my mother and face her in a way where now she is going to give me the other end of the barrel, you know what I mean? And let me know how she feels. And it was kind of hard for me, because I always thought like, yo, mom, I ain't really got to talk to you about this. This is what I'm doing. I just let me do what I'm doing so I can figure this shit out and get to where I got to go so I can take care of you. Don't worry about me. I'm worried about you. But she was more worried about me, knowing that I didn't fucking really know shit about life. You know what I'm saying? So then when she was in court that day, and, you know, I ain't hugging shit, and she went her way, I went, because, you know, you got me caught up, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to my sister, though, because I would have been in more bigger trouble. But, you know, then we wound up building a relationship, and, you know, she had breast cancer and different things going on. Moving forward, and I still, like, she was doing good and shit, you know what I'm saying? I still felt like I could come back, because, you know, I always try to get money, Frankie. I'll leave it at that, you know what I'm saying? But I thought I could always make the situation whole again and be looked at as like top dog, you know what I mean? Because nobody, when you think you that dude, can't nobody really deviate your narrative or your mindset. You know what I'm saying? Once you got the shit locked in. And then once I got to that point, I was like, okay, we cool. And then my fucking mother died, nigga, like in a week. It was like I talked to her on a Friday. Then I think like a Wednesday or Thursday, she was dead. And I was like, holy shit. It's over, Frankie. Everything I thought I could do, everything I thought I could revenge, everything I thought that I could make right, everything I thought that she understood, everything I thought she forgave me for, didn't feel the same because I didn't get to see her out to my end or their end or the end. How you feel about that?
Hey, yo, you know, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I became numb to it. You know what I mean? Because, like I said before, man, I was on shit that affected my household in negative ways. You know
Me
what I
too.
mean? And like I really was doing things that really you know,
Could bring drama back to the house. You the black sheep.
yeah, but you know, it's a different kind when you scare, you know, the one that birthed you, and you see it in her face, and
Yeah, son. I
you
know
don't even.
exactly
Yo,
what
Nick,
you
can I
mean.
finish? I just sat here quiet. I
Oh,
did.
sorry, Frankie. I'm just chiming in, agreeing with you. Sorry.
Yeah, I just, you know, like at the end of the day, you dig, like um I learned my mom's past while I was on Supermax. Like, well, not Supermax, but on Keep Lock. The prison was locked down, and it was crazy because the pastor that was supposed to come and tell me, you know what I mean, she didn't even come and tell me or whatever the case may be, and I kind of blanked out, and
Hold on.
it was an
Can
ugly
you
scene.
rewind that back, Frankie? What do you mean the pastor?
You know what I mean, when you know when you in them walls, you know what I'm saying, like when your family calling and telling you, you know, telling the peoples that, yo, listen, man, I'm such and such, I'm the aunt, I'm the sister, I'm the brother, whatever the case may be, and well, my brother's family member just passed, namely his mother, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? The pastor of the prison is supposed to come and let you know, like, yo, listen, But as I said in the last
Holy
situation,
shit, the
I,
pastor of the prison. You are just a wealth of jewels, Frankie. Carry on.
um, so that didn't happen. So I didn't actually get the news until, you know, maybe by the grace of God, you know what I mean? I think it was maybe about 2 days later, whatever the case may be. We got let up or whatever the case may be for interval. They had intervals, so it's probably like a half an hour or an hour. We come out one day and whatever. So I called him, you know what I'm saying? My wife told me, yo, listen, man, you don't know. And I'm like, no, what? You know, and when I heard the words, I already knew something was crazy, but I didn't think it was to the magnitude that I was going to hear. You know what I mean? And but prior to that, me and my mom just like, you know, I mean, I always had resentment because, you know what I'm saying, it's something that happened way earlier in time. But, you know, that's for another situation. But me and my mom, we wasn't on the best of terms. But at this time, you know what I mean, for whatever reason, I called home or whatever the case may be, and we talked, and it led to us, you know what I'm saying, crying or whatever the case may be. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know what I mean, that was a feeling, that was an emptiness, you know what I'm saying, on top of the fact of another, you know, a callous, you know, act and an unthoughtful act of the system, whereas, you know what I'm saying, the people that are placed in these positions to, you know, uphold a position that they are entitled to uphold, you know, like it being the past of letting me know that, you know what I'm saying, my mom's had passed away and giving me the due courtesy to, you know what I'm saying, to reach out to my family via through the chaplain's phone and so forth and so on. I never was afforded that. So, you know, I kind of blanked out. And when I did, if it wasn't for, you know what I'm saying, not only, you know what I'm saying, a few good men in there that I was like, yo, bro, chill, bro. But also, you know what I'm saying, you know, solid officers, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's a
Yo,
few.
Frankie, that's how real you are, motherfucker. That's what I love about you. You keep it 100 all around the border. A
I
couple
mean,
officers and your homies.
yeah, like, you know what I'm saying, you got a few of them, man. They, you know, they just come to do their 8 hours, and they know and understand that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us is in them walls, man, with these fucked up amounts of time. So, you know what I'm saying, they do anything and everything to stay out of our way and allow our time to be as, you know what I'm saying, easy as possible. You know what I mean? And you know, it was, I never forget him saying, like, yo, man, you working on too much, man. Don't let this fuck you up. And you dig? So, you know, that coupled with,
What does that mean exactly? Because we always have to be specific for the audience. You were working on 2 months, and then you got that info. What was that 2 months getting
bro,
into a
like, you know,
program out
like,
the
yo,
shoe?
what could you know, like, you know, hearing, you know what I'm saying, your mom, your old earth passed away in this situation, man, and there was already situations that I was dealing with. Like, I was at that point in a part of my mind, I had already started to conjure up, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna make an example out of somebody. You dig? I'm gonna make an
Facts.
example. I'm gonna make an example out of somebody because it was already individuals that existed that I'm like, you know what? You tried to play a game. Now I thought what I had was the perfect reason to, you know, to do what I needed to do, or what, not even what I needed to do, what I wanted to do in order to, you know, satiate, you know what I mean, my canine
The
teeth.
Lion of the
You know,
Serengeti,
so, you know,
Frankie Boo.
you know, the comrades, man, you know what I'm saying, on and also the sensible
Can
thought
you
of
mention a couple of them if they want to be mentioned or not? That's all good.
that'll come in time. You know, they know who they are, and I have mentioned propriety. You
Salute
know
to
what I'm
those
saying?
brothers
You
for
know,
keeping
so
you
but you
cool.
know, to my, you know, to one in particular, man, you know what I'm saying? My man Satan, man, you know what I mean? And my nigga
Excuse
Satan.
me. One more time. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, my nigga Satan. You dig?
Okay.
And you know, like and my son ATLD. But yo, at the end of the day, bro, like I say, man, you know, this I'm kind of
Yo, that's an ill fuck. Yo, you one of the illest niggas in Nebraska, son. Yo, my boy just said, yo, my son Satan said,
nah,
yo, Frankie, you the illest nigga, son.
Nah, that nigga in Nebraska was a rat, so don't
Oh, no,
push me.
no. I just mean, oh, no.
Words is
Let's
power.
clarify
Nah, that
that.
nigga was eating a banana. We ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Eating a banana.
But pause
You know,
that.
that
No, I
nigga
just
was
mean the
eating a
expression,
banana,
like,
Nick.
yeah. Well, no, I changed it to something else. Pardon that.
You know, nah,
Yo,
you know why I
yo.
say that?
You
Nah,
the
but you know,
motherfucking Don
real
Dada
talk, you
Top
know why I say
Shatter.
that? Cause I ain't gonna
Whoa.
front. I wind up telling, I wind up saying to my little mans and them, they from Nebraska, and they hated that shit. Like, yo, is that the illest nigga in Nebraska? And they used to, yo, big bro, don't say that, man. Don't get, nah, Nebraska, they don't like that shit. You know what I mean? That shit is akin to, you know what I'm saying, that nigga eating a banana. But yo, with that being said, yo, listen, man, this was a glorious moment, man. You dig? At the end of the day, man, I enjoy.
Well, Frankie, I got
my
something
time.
else to show you. Can I show it to you after you get done right now?
Yeah, do what you do, bro.
Yo, word is born. I love that. You know, we're both conversationalists. We both have a lot to say, but I have more to learn from you, and you're a growing man, and you have more to learn from me. So it's just like balancing the both.
There
You know
you
what
go.
I mean?
There you go.
And you know what I love about you is that even though you'll be like, yo, Nick, woo, yo, you know what I'm saying? Cool out, Nick. Woo. But you also too fall back and be like, yo, Nick, I get that, and you listen. So it's like the two-way combination of the situation. You know what I'm saying? And also too, I'm also used to kind of doing interviews and the things in a certain way where I come from the world of Howard Stern or Storm Buck Wild, and those are my guys, and you kind of turn things up this way and you interject and you do the boop, 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 boop. But yo, Frankie, you're a fucking champ. You're the best. And I'm telling you, your podcast is going to go to the top. But let's get into this, because this is the thing that hurt me the most about all this situation. Money don't mean shit, Frankie, if you ain't got your soul together. Let's go.
Facts.
DeMond sued the city and was awarded over $13 million. But he says no amount of money can bring back all the years of his life lost and take away the nightmares and emotional trauma.
Money doesn't kill you. Money don't do nothing for you for the soul. You take the shackle off, but you're still incarcerated because the pain, the scars, is never removed, regardless.
4 years later, he still doesn't feel free.
I'm having a difficult time coping with things because, sometimes I act like I'm still locked up. Sometimes when I'm making reference to going upstairs, I say I'm going to my cell.
He says each one of his over 10,000 days in jail was a struggle.
Yo, Frankie.
Yo.
Never in my life have I turned to my shorty and be like, yo, I'm going to my cell. But I could see, like, when I be like, yo, son, what up? Yo, I'm going to bed. She'd be like, what the fuck you calling son? It's just something I've been saying and doing for a long time that, you know what I mean? Sometimes just schlingo lingo. But that is like a whole different type of mental entrapment. And do you deal with stuff like that daily?
Facts. Big facts. Whole facts. And I don't know too many individuals who have done a decade and better who don't, and and possibly some that have done less than a decade. You know what I mean? Word them up. Even recently, you know what I'm saying? Just I learned in there, you know what I'm saying, to take a knee while urinating. And I mean, I remember coming
What does
home and
that mean, Frankie?
you
You
take a knee
mentioned that
because
earlier.
we live in a bathroom, man. You know what I mean? Motherfucker could say a cell, motherfucker could say a room, but in reality, we live in a bathroom, man. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is so closely, you know what I'm saying? Like the bunk is right next to the shitter. The sink is right next to the shitter. Your up bunk, the top bunk is right there. So, basically, you know what I mean? Those of us that, you know what I'm saying, that
No,
were in there.
Frankie, I saw a father one day. He did an Instagram video, and his son was acting bad. He was like 13 or something, and he said, "You're gonna be in the bathroom for the next 48 hours." And he said, "Get used to jail. This is what jail is like, and you're just gonna be here."
I don't know.
And that was that situation. But yeah, my bad. Carry on. But there's these fathers out here that I think they cut from not necessarily your cloth, but they understand what you just said. It's you're living in a bathroom.
Yo,
That's
listen,
the
bro. It's a
extreme.
lot, yo, bro. Listen, man. Individuals that have done these long periods of incarceration, man. It's no different from, you know what I'm saying. And what's crazy is that we've done 10 or 15 years, 20, 30 years inside of prison. And it's no different. It's akin to a Vietnam vet, though they make, and I can't even say that they've been through some harsher times. You know what I mean? They might have been in the midst of battle and gunshot and, so what, but so have we inside of prison. And so the psychological effect that it has had on a number of us, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, getting ready to get in the shower with our shower shoes on because we still think that we may be in prison, whether it's taking a knee or sitting on the toilet to pee, you know what I'm saying, but not as a female would sit, we're facing towards the toilet bowl back, just so that the water from the toilet is not splashing on the wall or on the floor, which will later make a smell emanate that'll have your whole room smelling like piss. And if you're in there with two men like you usually are, because you got another man in your room with you, you know what I mean? That could be a horrendous stench after time. Whether it's, you know what I'm saying, like he said, you know what I'm saying, referring to going to your room as your cell, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, you being antisocial at times in a depressive state, whether it's you not, being around men so long that, your woman trying to understand why you not, damn, why you I would think you would be more touchy and feely now that you're not around a bunch of men, but she doesn't realize that the time that you've been away, you've become cold. You become like, yo, I ain't used to people touching on me, like, rubbing up. Nah, we ain't do that. It's something that you got to,
Yo, Frankie, that's crazy that you say that because there was a time in my life where women would try to be like flirty or bird. You meet them real quick, and I'll be like, yo, cut all that shit out because this might lead. You know what I mean? Not lead to no sex. Like, I don't know what the fuck type of time you get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? But you're talking about the jail, but different things, whatever. Go ahead.
Yo, man, listen.
Like the psychological from jail, but I'm talking about in the street too. The psychological, like,
yo, bro, the
correlation.
streets. Yo, Nick, and I say this respectfully, you can never align the streets with prison.
No. I learned that the first time when they did the riot over the toilet paper and there was shit everywhere and the thing unrolled. That would never happen in the streets. So I knew that when I went to that world, that was different than this world. You know what I mean?
If you did, then you wouldn't even make the comments trying to, you know what I'm saying, align the two. They don't run parallel, homie, in no way, form, or fashion. And this is what it means to sometimes, you know what I'm saying, humble ourselves and just, you know what I'm saying, take heed, man, and listen, as opposed to interjecting or trying to make a comment about something that.
Well, if we were talking privately and we were just having a regular whatever, that's fine. But I have like 20,000 subscribers. My viewers are going to tune in. I have things going on. We talk privately. I'm here to actually engage you, talk with you, challenge you,
but I
get your
also,
vertical aspect. So,
I also
like I'm
wanted to
also
be
learning you, but we got to talk, son.
Right, but I also I also wanted to be specifically geared in a sense, beloved, to the realness of what's transpiring. So therefore, the individuals, you know what I'm saying, that are bigger than me, that have platforms bigger than me, that may need individuals like you and me that have a true understanding of what individuals are really going. Like right now, people believe that you don't have people in these segregated housing units that have been languishing in them for 4 and 5 years.
You have the the guy that got arrested on January 6th. He's been sitting in the Brooklyn federal housing or the Manhattan, I forget which one it is exactly, for 3 years with no charges.
Okay, then.
Fucked up.
Perfect example.
For walking into the White House.
Some of these same individuals I've had.
Well, Capitol Hill, pardon me.
Some of these same individuals, man, and I'm not proud to say it, I've watched them deteriorate. That now, unbeknownst to society, they're in there eating their own shit, rubbing shit on the wall, throwing shit on people because they're losing their minds because people out here don't even have a clue that the police are doing whatever they're doing, or they don't understand that this dude has real mental issues, or that this cell is really driving this man crazy, and as opposed to letting them out or giving them some type of psychological help, they just walk past their room daily.
Like we walk past them on the train when they sleeping.
There's just a lot of things, man, that you dig. Like I told individuals, man, that
How you telling me earlier with the women and they come on the visit and the CEOs be a certain way and then the CEOs treat this one like that and you got to deal with it, you got to eat it, and they treat them like that. The jail is just a fucked up, nasty, dirty, fucking horrific fucking place where you have no fucking principle and a sense of out frontly confronting things, because of course this is an industry complex, but you know, on the background you can have strength, you know, and you've always been a strong brother within those vicinities.
Hey, yo, bro, listen, because you know, let me say this: strength is something that I've been blessed to have in a way. But let me not. Whoa, pause, Nick. Let me make this very clear. Very clear. There was a whole lot of motherfucking days, homie, that I was weak as fuck. You dig? And I'm not saying weak in the aspect of a person taking advantage of me. I'm not saying weak in the aspect of me, you know, degrading myself like I've seen brothers. And I can't even say they degraded themselves, because psychologically they just started to down spiral to a point that they don't even understand what they're doing when they start throwing shit and eating shit and smoking this drug or doing this thing or whatever the case may be. Yeah. But I was weak in the aspect of knowing and understanding that, damn, Father, am I ever going to get out of prison? I was weak in the aspect that in certain aspects, I'm not going to say I was giving up, but I was facing the reality that there was a possibility that I was never going to leave prison. And that's a sad and a fucked up thing to have to be able to start to even consider when you come from the kind of cloth that I had prided myself from coming from. You dig? So I you know, like, yeah, and listen to me very, very, very clearly. Ain't too many real niggas, comrades, that I ran into that didn't have the similar way of thinking. Like, yo, damn, bro, yo, bro, you know what? I'm glad you say that, man, because you know, I be leery to tell a person that, yo, it's some days, man, I just be like, yo, word of mother, man, I'll be ready for a nigga to just, you know what I'm saying? I'll be ready to start some shit. I'll be ready to start some shit, so you dig, whether it go knife to knife or whatever the case may be, fuck it. Because this shit right here, this shit is crazy.
You know what's crazy that you're saying that you're in jail, thinking like that? is because I was, when my mother died, really was like a very crucial moment for me because I had like all these grandioso plans and all this shit figured out. I thought I was the mastermind. I thought I was the more manipulative person. I thought I had it all figured out. Niggas don't really know what I'm. She gonna learn. It's over. And I started moving around in the streets, and the same way you said, these people started eating shit, drinking piss. I wasn't doing nothing like that, but you could say a word to me, and dogs, it's a, you know what I'm saying? Everybody going Rikers Island right now, or I mostly got locked up in the tombs because I used to get arrested out of Manhattan, but and then I would, get released, so I wouldn't have to do to go to downstate, whatever. But there were times where these things would take me to a place. Like I remember Chinatown. I was in Chinatown, and I was on my bike, and I rolled by. I was doing something, and I remember I forget what the fuck happened exactly, but the guy was like, "Yo, your mother don't raise you right?" Yo, boo. I mean, yo, son. Yo, word to my mother, G. It was on and popping from there. And I start fucking up all these, you know what I mean? Some bunch of little bing, bang, boom, boom, bing, bang, bang. My father told me how to box my with my hands. I got a little strength to me, and then I pulled the other, I just started. And then I realized, Nick, what are you doing, man?
What are you doing? There you go.
I wasn't even proud of that shit in the end, Frankie. It made me feel bad for how far I had fallen in the challenge and the attempt to gain my mother's acceptance or gain my family's acceptance for my behavior of what I was doing in, selling the crack and the guns and the this and all these different stuff that I thought was going to get me like more on the upper echelon of certain things, trying to appeal to people that would never give two fucks about me when I'm 40 years old or 41 or whatever.
That's the difference, and I say that, you know what I'm saying, or I say this with
reverence.
No, not with reverence. I say this as like, wow, like, yo, bro, that was a difference.
Oh, like a disclaimer. Got you, Frankie.
In fact, like, like I didn't have that. See, when I was coming up, and I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna end this because you know what I'm saying, I got other situations to deal with,
Frankie,
bro.
we almost 3 hours in, nigga. I love you, son.
Yeah, but
I know you love me. You don't talk to nobody this long, son.
I didn't care about my life, and I didn't care about nobody else's in that sense. You know what I'm saying? I was, like I looked up to that street light. So at the end of the day, like a lot of the shit that I brought on, I was bringing it on to family without a real conscious understanding that, you know what I'm saying, I was, potentially putting them in fucked up positions to be, you know what I'm saying, hurt or ashamed or so forth or so on. So, again, man, in closing this, man, and it definitely leaves me at a place to, after I get off this, to still ponder and to send my, you know what I'm saying, my thanks, and my prayers up to the Most High, that he blankets my mother, and may she be, you know what I'm saying, resting in peace, and that he gives
And
her
I
the
want to say,
ability.
I send my respect to you. And man, much love to your mama Dukes and just that whole situation, son.
And may she watch over me, and to the other brothers, man, and the sisters who have lost their
Inshallah.
family members, man, in the struggle. You know what I mean? Like, it goes on every day, and it's a fucked up situation because a lot of them can't even get to the wake or the burial. And I know firsthand how that feels. I know firsthand how that can send a person in a downward spiral. I know firsthand how, a lot of us, man, who, like myself, once was in those walls, just want to be able to say, you know what I'm saying, I apologize, or you know what I'm saying, now I'm ready to do what I need to do to be the best version of myself. For those individuals, male and females, man, please, man, continue to struggle. Please don't give up. Please continue to send your prayers up to the Most High. Please continue to have hope. Please continue to have faith. Please continue to believe that you will make it on the other side. Because what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. With the help of Allah, you will make it. I pray that, I hope that, and I sincerely wish you the best. With that being said, me and Uncle Nick, this is Vertical Talk. Your boy FB, not far away from you, but still in remembrance of you. Happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah. We out.
And no, I want to take you out. FB, the man of the hour, the man with the plan from here to Japan, son. You hear me? Bringing sophistication to some dark situations simultaneously, brother. You be shining your light. You know what I'm saying? You be breaking things down real proper style, straight up and down like 6 o'clock, like the guards would say. But you know, I have to keep everything within a certain momentum. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I do. But Frankie, I love you one too, son. I love how you project it. I love how you give it up.
That's
You know
what
what I'm
it is,
saying?
man.
And
That's what
also
it is.
too, I love your family, son. Your cousins, everybody. It's a combination thing over here. So when they listen to Uncle Nick, you Chip Low, everybody, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with you for you know what I'm saying? Chip be talking about Boozy in his book and this and that and Brian Boo and but like your whole fucking I just love y'all niggas, man, for how y'all give it up. You know what I'm saying?
Man, shout out, man. You know what I mean? Wax AP, man. Harlem legend. You know what I mean? China Brim, 050 the movement, man. You know what I mean? Chip, man. You know what I mean? Dark Man. You know what I'm saying? To all the
Dark
brothers
Man,
and
the
sisters, man. You
motherfucking
heard?
man with the plan.
Yeah, man.
Dark Man
Yeah.
be captured. Shout out to the Session TV.
Man,
Because
say that.
Session TV really
Say that.
be capturing
man.
all that, like Dark got all the footage of the culture. Like
Yeah,
if
man.
you know what's crazy? Ralph might come back like 10 years from now and be like, yo, Dark Man, hold this. I need that, nigga. You know what I mean? Dark Man is small brothers, man.
Over for the peoples. Love you, man. You heard? Your boy.
Yo,
FB.
Frankie, for Christmas, what would you like to leave people with in the pen?
Man,
And what do people eat in the pen? That's the last thing.
I just
What
said
did
it
you
all,
eat
man.
for your last
Those
Christmas
that know, they
when
know,
you was
bro.
there?
Yo, man, I already said it, man. You dig? It's a Reynolds rap, man. Vertical Talk, man. See you on the next one.
No.
Like and subscribe, and Nick, we out, bro.
Hold on, Frankie. I gotta know. What's the last meal you ate on Christmas when you was locked up? Oh shit.